high on Friday. The record, not even close, 106 from the beast of a summer of 1966. Friday night, partly cloudy skies. Any thunderstorms fade away. Again, they're just little spotty storms, 76. Saturday, partly sunny skies, but I do anticipate a little uptick in scattered thunderstorms on Saturday. The main features, heavy downpours of rain and lightning, so let's pay attention to that sky. 89 on Saturday, Sunday, partly sunny, and 88. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. Sunshine 88 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy hot as hell Thursday. Going to be even hotter tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And the buck moon.
That's what I'm hearing.
Just going to say that until I slip up and get fired.
How are you going to say moon wrong?
I could find a way. Shout out to our friends at Beignet All Day. They do beignets all day, and they have a pop-up going on Thursday and Friday. Is that right?
Yeah, Thursday and Friday at City Garden. I think they're down there from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Thursdays and Fridays.
Mwah. One of the best things I've ever had.
Delish.
Fantastic. So messy.
Yeah, but so
Lot of
worth
sugar
it.
everywhere.
So worth it. You just brush it off.
Eat them
It's
warm right when you get them. They're best when they're
Yeah.
nice and warm.
Yeah, Rach and I walked down there the hottest part of the day and walked back carrying steaming hot beignets.
Well, yeah.
And they still were.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, at least
that
they
was
didn't-
on Rach.
They didn't cool off on the walk back. They
And
were
Rach,
fine.
you're having them on your show.
Yeah, in the next few weeks. I'm not sure exactly when, but I'll do a little interview with them. Maybe we'll play them on the DGS, too. Who's to say?
Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen.
Anything could happen.
Anything could happen. It's DGS.
We don't see the future.
Speaking of, I had a nice thing happen. So, you know, I'm very existential. I'm very mentally ill. And I sometimes will go down a rabbit hole of like, what are you doing with your life? And you just talk. It's nothing. Just air. You're just talking. And I was talking to a friend of mine who met a person and my name came up. And the guy was telling my friend that he has terrible racking anxiety and that the DGS gives him relief 4 hours a day.
Nice.
Isn't that
really
wonderful?
nice.
Good. That's very cool.
As someone with debilitating racking anxiety, I appreciate that sentiment. That's wonderful. Really cool. That's all I had for the show.
All right. Well, yeah. You guys have a nice weekend.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a question?
Yeah.
Wheels, what are you doing? What's up with the pics?
Oh, the AI? I was
Yeah.
bored for about 10 minutes.
He
So I
was
decided to make some AI pictures.
You should have seen it. So Rach and I are in our
Yeah.
office, and both of our phones ping at the same time. And then I just start laughing, and I'm like, what's he doing?
What's he doing?
She's like, I don't know.
He just had a few minutes. I sent them to you
I
guys.
had the same thought, and I was sitting 1 foot away from him.
And I sent them to my friends. Well, I started it because I was going to make a gag for my buddies because I told you part of the story.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't remember what the dare or the whatever it was, but one of my buddies basically, I don't know if I lost a bet or something, and I had to wear the captain hat and
From Captain and
the
Tennille.
black T-shirt from the captain and Tennille. I don't know why he picked that, probably because he thought it would be hilarious to see me in that. Sitting at a piano. So I did it. I took the picture, put it on there, and then I made like a screamy face when I was doing it. And that was the picture that I used for these, and it turned out pretty great. Here's
like,
me as the...
what's happening?
Yeah, that's the other one it came up for with me.
You look like Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, it's a little bit. No, it does a little bit. I was telling my buddies it's kind of like that. Maybe, I don't know, like a little Lars Ulrich in there. Maybe Lemmy a little bit in there. Yeah, I was
Little
bored.
Mr. Howell.
I was bored for 5 minutes, and I something on a text chain with buddies made me decide I wanted to do it, and then I decided to share with you guys because I thought you guys would enjoy that.
You know, it's funny. As we age, we are supposed to mature, and
I feel like that's a shot.
and we do mature. Well, yeah. But when Rach and I went down to City Garden, they have the splash pad, you know, and there were like 100 kids.
Oh, there were so many kids
It
having
looked
fun.
so
at that
much
splash
fun.
Pad.
Yeah.
It looked so much fun.
Looked like a good time.
I was going to join in, but I thought a 60-year-old single man walking into the splash pad with kids with a box of beignets wouldn't be the best look.
Yeah.
Kids, you like donuts?
Yeah.
And I don't
get
know
it.
if- I don't know
if
if-
you were alone though, that would have been fun.
I don't know if we would get the most out of the splash pad, right? Because the splash pad, the water goes up like, a foot and a half. So if you're that size, I mean, you're in like Niagara Falls.
What do you got that's a foot and a half off the ground?
I mean,
His kneecap.
Enough said.
yeah. I'm not gonna further the bit because of the children.
In honor of the kids,
Yes.
you're doing this one, doing them a solid. All those kids out there listening. I was talking to our boss, Steve, today, and I'm sorry to keep getting too in the weeds with DGS and KMOX, but we just had this huge change with KMOX going to FM, and we were talking about what a good position we're in. And I am wearing my Rush shirt, and Steve was talking about Casey. Love Casey, love everybody over there. Tried to be on Casey for 20 years and never made it. But he said, like, they're making very few new Rush fans, right? Most Rush fans are my age and older. Now, there's a few 22-year-olds super
Get a
into
few
Geddy
people
Lee,
that catch it, yeah.
but not enough to support a station. And we're lucky with KMOX because what we have is a brand. Everyone, even 22-year-olds, may not listen to KMOX, but they know what KMOX is. They know that it exists. And so we have these call letters, these frequencies, but it can be anything, and we're trying to young it up, and, with DGS and Chris and Amy, and, we're trying to take it from median age of 65 to 45, but they could even go younger than that. I mean, they could put someone who's 30 years old on the station, and you see what I'm saying? We're not locked into anything.
Right.
Except our history has been older, but you can change that just by changing the programming.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
One thing it won't be changing, though, is that old Cardinals baseball.
Nope. Not for a few years.
Nope. Lock that baby down.
Hopefully they learned their lesson, both sides, when they went to the other station for a few years.
I think so.
You would think so.
Yeah. I don't think that was great.
And especially now that we have the advantage of FM. People are
Oh, my God,
digging
yeah.
Cardinals baseball on FM.
It's so good that way.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good, too. And I get the charm a little bit of the AM sound when you're sitting on the back porch.
Yeah.
I get that. But, man, when you're in your car, FM's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Crack of the bat's pretty sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Pop of the glove. John and Rick.
Man, I've lost my ability to spell.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because of autocorrect or what?
I think, well, I started to say just age and a lack of use, but I write all the time and I read all the time. So you wouldn't think that you would.
So are you misspelling words you previously spelled
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Want
Or
to
you
hear how I spelled millennial today?
Millennial.
That's a hard one.
It ended with an EAL. And I'm like, I don't think that's right.
Millennial.
Yeah, millennial.
Yeah, millennial.
The Millennial Falcon.
Mm-hmm. Millennial is a hard one, though. Millennium in general. I forget how many L's and N's and.
I think I'm just careless.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I really thought about any normal word, I could spell it. But I write so much, and my writing is scribbling. It's almost a Dave shorthand to Dave.
Gotcha.
But it's still troubling. It's your skills are not enhancing. My math skills, my every skill.
Not great. I get that once in a while where you write a word down or you type a word and you're like, it just doesn't look right.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
It doesn't look right. But it's the way I've always done it. And you're like, I know. And then you don't see the weird red underlining thing on it. So like it's your software's not saying that's wrong, but you're still looking at it and you're like, that just, I know I've written it that my way my whole life.
I don't type that much anymore. And I was thinking about this today. I was typing on my phone into my notes, and I was doing it really well. Like, I'm not like as good as Phoebe, but isn't it crazy that I learned to type, pretty good typer, like conventionally, and then I learned a whole new skill of how to type with my thumbs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not looking for a trophy. I'm just saying, like, it's interesting.
You are adding skills.
How we do that.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a necessary thing. Do you remember, Rach, you probably do because you were selling phones back then, but this may be too old for you. But do you guys remember, Kevin, you will, and I don't remember exactly how it worked, but basically you had to hit like
numbers,
A 3 times.
Yeah, it's called T9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Texting.
weird.
Right. To get to S, you had to hit a number 3 times or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, that was annoying, but we did
Yeah.
it. And I could do that, like, not even looking at the screen.
That's what a lot of
I could just be like, because you just remembered.
I don't remember it. I don't remember being very proficient at it.
It wasn't really conducive to long texts.
No.
I mean, but texting at that time was just short messaging. It wasn't like now,
Yeah.
where you'll send somebody 3 paragraphs, and
Yeah.
but back then it was like 2 sentences at the most.
I'll tell you who's the texter is Bernie Miklasz.
Yeah,
You showed me like his text to you
we
last
text
night.
a good bit during
He was-
games and after games.
He was writing novels.
He and I are alike in that regard, so I think that's why we have fun texting back and forth once in a while because we
Yeah.
both have thoughts.
Oh, can I get a ruling on that? I'm going to the game tonight, taking the whole family, and I will, of course, root for the Cardinals, as I always have and always will, but I'm not rooting for Miles Michaelis. I've developed a real dislike for him, and I don't want him on
Performance-based?
both. I don't want him on the team for several reasons, and I just feel like if he has a good outing or two, it's just going to prolong the inevitable. Am I a bad person? Am I a bad fan?
No. I think that's a really common thing for fans in sports in general. Like, so that to me, that's akin to the like rooting for a better draft pick when your team's not good, right? So, and believe me, as a Detroit Lions fan, I've spent many years rooting for them to lose in the last month of the season to get a better pick because they couldn't win anything. Nothing was going to happen. And now, again, it's a little different, but it's the same idea. Because what do you ultimately want, Dave? You want the team
Cardinals
to
to be better.
Yes. So your belief is that with a different person in that spot, the team would be better off.
Mm-hmm.
So no, that's not unusual at all. It's not at all unusual. I think fans, I guarantee you, there's a large percentage of Cardinals fans that probably feel the same way tonight, where you don't want the team to lose. And you can concoct it in your head, right?
Different
Like,
scenarios.
now they can win 9-8.
Right.
And Miles blows up and they make this big comeback.
Right.
Like, as a fan, there are always ways to make it work so you're not totally rooting against your team. But that's not an unusual fan-based psychology. Like, that's pretty normal. When you're frustrated with, either an individual or a team and just a lack of performance and not seeing it going anywhere positive in your mind, it's totally normal. I do hard. I try to work hard. Like my goal would be like I would love to see Miles Michaelis succeed and have the final 2.5 months be great and help the team make the postseason. Like that's what I would choose. Yeah, what scenario could you choose? I would choose that one.
Yeah,
I just don't think
too.
it's going to happen.
No, I would too.
Yeah.
If suddenly he got new life and his ERA was 2.5, yeah, I can put my personal dislike for him aside. And because it's not like we're buddies or something. It's not like he hurt me or anything.
Yeah.
But not thinking that's going to happen. It's just like, let's just get this over with.
Yeah, and it's to me, a lot of those decisions are not as much about the person or the player as it is the team's decision making, right?
And from listening to you guys, it sounds like they've already kind of not officially but unofficially made that decision about Fetty.
Not really. I mean, they haven't announced anything.
No, I'm saying it's not official, but when your manager says it doesn't make sense to me to keep hitting repeat,
Yeah,
that's not great.
Well, he's saying now. I mean, I'm talking about Ollie. He's talked about that on Tuesday. Essentially, that Fetty can't just keep doing the same thing, and then in an extension of that is, and neither can we if it doesn't change.
Yeah,
I don't know when that is though. I don't know if they're going to look at it and say it's this week, or see how it goes this week and make the decision after the All-Star break. But at some point soon, they're going to have to make some calls on those two guys.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Just dial pound 250 on your phone and say the keyword windows. That's pound 250 keyword windows, or head to rbastl.com.
News, talk, cars. 104.1 FM KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX 120. Hey, Andrew, can I get a show sheet?
I think I have an extra one over here, Dave.
Ready?
I am so sorry.
Well, you just better be,
I know.
Buster.
I never forget that.
You don't want my wrath coming down on you. I have a friend coming in who'll take care of business in about a half an hour.
That's true.
His name is Grimace. You know why he's called that? 'Cause he's so salty.
Because he's never smiles.
Very grimacy.
Never once smiles. He's got a big frown on the costume.
Grimace just showed up yesterday out of nowhere. Like, I was doing a live endorsement, and I noticed that everyone was looking over my shoulder. So I took a little gander as I'm talking about a client. I'm like, oh, it's a big purple man.
He did break the door down like you owed him money.
Yeah, he certainly did.
He broke the door down like he was the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, he did. And I think I literally not trying to be funny, said something like, Grimace?
Yeah, like, oh, hello, welcome
Dave,
back, Grimace.
You actually did a little bow. You're like a little
Grimace.
Yeah.
And I shook his hand. I'll tell you this, Grimace has a stout handshake. Coming up, we have Brad Young at 2 p.m., Ricky Horton at 2:30. Our buddy Janelle's going to be here at 3 o'clock. Mike Elam, we're probably going to gank him, but he's on the list right now at 4 p.m. I'm just being honest. I get tired. Like in the 3 p.m. hour, I'm like, I don't know if I want to listen to Elam and Wheeler go back and forth like this.
That's my guy.
Elam's listening right now. He's like, hey, words hurt.
I like arguing.
So 4-day school weeks?
Yeah, quite a few school districts are transitioning into 4-day school weeks, and it's to basically keep teachers in the profession, because so many teachers, especially, post-pandemic, are very burnt out, very underpaid, very underappreciated. So school districts are trying to think of any way they can to keep teachers in schools.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing this 4-day school day, 4-day school week. The teachers love it because they get a 3-day weekend every single week.
Nice.
Kids love it for the same reason. In fact, there's been a lot of research that shows that kids are able to focus better and just like remain refreshed throughout the week when they have that extra time off. The only people who are really unhappy about it are the parents, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you have to consider now I have to find someone to watch my kid every Friday while I go to work.
Which may not be the easiest thing to do.
Oh,
to
yeah.
find someone to watch your kid one day a week.
I totally get that. And you went from like that quote unquote childcare being free that day to now you're probably paying someone to do it. So it's just an interesting situation. And it got me to thinking, like, again, I don't have kids. I've never like paid for daycare or anything like that. But it does feel like if there's like a snow day out of nowhere or just some random day off, then parents just have to deal with that. And it's just an interesting thing to think about is like you're able to rely on the schools as far as like your kid's well-being. You don't have to worry about your kid because that's where they're at up until a certain point, and that feels like it can kind of be taken away at any moment.
Nick's 30, and when I was paying his daycare, it was $1,200 a month.
That's crazy.
And I can't imagine what it is these days because that's what it was back, 25 years ago.
Seems like you could have a solution.
I wasn't making $1,200 or $1,200 a month kind of salary.
Couldn't there be some kind of solution to this where whatever day it is, Mondays or Fridays, whatever, that the kids can all still go to school, but you're just going to have a skeleton crew. You're not going to be one per 25 in a classroom, but it's maybe more like gym class or it's
more like vacation Bible school.
Right, like a camp setting where it's, maybe you're in the cafeteria and you can have lunches and activities and things like that. And staff it at less of a, maybe you rotate it so you're not always getting a 3-day weekend as a teacher, but maybe you're getting it 3 out of 4 weeks or whatever it is. I think because that's a real problem. And it shouldn't come out of anybody's pocket because as a taxpayer, you're already paying for these kids to go to school.
Yeah.
So if there's some kind of program to do that, that makes a lot of sense. You don't need 5 days a week to do the work. I mean, I've told this before, but my high school would do fundraisers every year. And for the last 2.5 months, we'd have 3-day weekends every weekend because we used to get days off for every certain amount of money we raised.
Yeah.
So we used them always to make a 3-day weekend, and we got all our work done. Everybody still went to college. Everybody still passed all the exams. Everybody still did everything. You just had to get it done.
Do you think if adults went to a 4-day work week, would we just be happy as pigs in crap, or would we start complaining like, oh, man, it's Wednesday, and I thought it was Thursday?
I think that one.
You think that one?
I think that's just kind of human nature.
Yeah. I saw, God, where did I see this? I think I saw it on Twitter. It was just a story that somebody, it was a CEO or like an executive complaining that they have employees that have a 4-day work week. They do. They work Monday through Thursday, so they get the 3-day weekends. And one of the employees was telling the boss that they're going to need to come in late sometimes or leave early sometimes just because they need better work-life balance. I'm like, man, you already got 3 days off. You're already I get it's a matter of perspective, but if 3 out of 7 days of you getting to do whatever you want isn't enough balance, I don't know what to tell you.
What if Steve said, DGS, you can do a show Monday through Thursday, and on Thursdays record a Friday show, but not come in? Would you rather do 8 hours of programming on Thursday?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But here's my thing about the 4-day work week. I just feel like that only benefits office workers and salaried people. If you are an hour, let's say you work at Starbucks.
So you wait tables or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, they don't say like, and now we're going to give you more money to work less. It doesn't work for those professions. So then it's like, okay, so white collar America gets even more spoiled, and then blue collar America has to deal with it as usual. It just feels like
waiting on people on their Friday off.
Exactly. Like now everybody's going to brunch on Friday, so the servers are extra stressed. It just feels a little sometimes.
Although it could benefit them for just that reason. If Friday was like a Saturday.
Yeah, but not if you're working at McDonald's and you don't get tips at all,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a reason not to do it. It's just something I always think of. It's like it really only benefits like a certain type of person or a certain type of job.
You guys think it's possible to have a work week, a work schedule, just in general, be less about an amount of time and more about just doing the job you need to do?
Of course.
Because I find that to be pretty insulting. Like, nope, you have to be in this building 40 hours a week, or we don't think. Well, how about this? Because I did work office jobs before I got into radio when I was in my 20s. I had a temp job for the summer. And I would finish everything they had for me halfway through the day. And I just had to sit there. I had no choice. If I left, I was going to get let go.
That's the way it is. Nick works for Michael Kelly, has for a couple of years now. And Michael has a very open office. If you need to come in the office, come in the office. If you don't need to, you can work from home. If you get everything done in 3 days, take a 4-day weekend. But you just got to get your stuff done.
Yeah, and I know every job's different, right? I mean, if you're waiting tables, the restaurant's open. They need people there to do the job.
Yeah.
But each job is different. As long as you're getting the job done, why do we need to count hours?
Agreed. Talking about First Missouri Credit Union, Steve, the CEO, was on yesterday, and we kind of highlighted a couple things. First of all, I think it's enough reason to change your checking account over to First Missouri, or at least move some of it over, because you may be getting a free checking account. You may be getting charged on your checking account, but you're certainly, because we have the highest rate in town, we know that, you're certainly not getting 4.27% on your checking up to $100,000. Now, I would get it, being a lazy piece of crap, that if it were really difficult, it's like it was 20 or 30 years ago, and you have to bring in a bunch of documents and sit at someone's desk for 90 minutes. It's not. I opened up my accounts about a year and a half ago, and it literally took me 10, 15, maybe at the most 20 minutes. So you can make a lot more money for a 20-minute investment. If you're looking to buy a car rather than talking to the old finance manager when you've made your deal with the salesperson, go to First Missouri first and see what kind of rate we can get you. 314-544-5050 or the number 1 stmocu.org.
Wake up informed. Wake up empowered. Wake up to Total Information AM, your morning must.
Hi, this is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
This is Tom Ackerman.
From local news to breaking headlines to weather, traffic, and the stories that matter most, we've got you covered before your first sip of coffee. Expert analysis, bright perspectives from the people you trust. Total Information AM. Your day starts here. Mornings beginning at 5 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
KMOX and 97.1 FM Talk are proud to support the first ever Brendan Donovan Charity Clay Shoot, happening Thursday, August 7th at Straffelman Farms Club in Weldon Spring. Join Cardinal standout Brendan Donovan, teammates, and local celebrities for a day of clay shooting and community, all to benefit Team Red, White, and Blue and their mission to support veterans' health and wellness. Sponsorships and shooter spots are going fast. Visit teamrwb.org/Donovan now to sign up. Show your support and make a difference for those who have served.
Dave Murray's forecast is brought to you by Saks Financial.
Let's pop our temperature up to 92 degrees this afternoon. Partly sunny skies, a tough-to-find spot storm. Let's not worry about it. Then tonight, full moon night, partly cloudy skies, 74 for the overnight low. Friday, partly sunny, maybe a spot storm, 95 degrees. Hottest of the week is Friday, the record 106 from 1966. Not even close. It's tough to get a record in July. Friday night, partly cloudy skies, 76. Saturday, partly sunny, but let's expect some scattered thunderstorms around on Saturday. The main features will be heavy downpours of rain and lightning. 89 degrees. Saturday, a bit of a day to stay alert. No all-day rain, but let's stay alert on Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny and 88. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Hey, it's Jeff at Saks Financial. Over the last 15 years, we've been able to help our clients focus on the fundamentals and tune out the daily grind by putting a great retirement plan in place. If you don't have one, find out how to get started at retiresafestl.com.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. As Andrew pointed out, Grimace is here more than most of our salespeople.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, Grimace.
If you're watching the StreamYard, you can see Grimace there, and he has brought in some snack wraps, which are out today. And I, for one, really, really miss them. I am not above eating a Big Mac or a Quarter Pounder, but try to stay a little trim. And so I love the snack wraps. Then they went away, much to my chagrin. But they're back now, so I'm excited.
Super exciting. I was a huge snack wrap fan, too, and we have basically been counting down to this re-release on the show, so this is really cool.
So our friends from McDonald's are here. Hello.
Hi,
Friend
guys.
from McDonald's.
Thank you for having us.
So you didn't know you'd be doing all the talking.
I did not know
Figured
that.
Grimace would do that.
Yes,
So, yeah.
Grimace is the star.
Yes, for sure. The star. The
Yes.
star of stars.
Yes.
So tell us about all the particulars. What's going on? What's available?
Sure. So we have our snack wraps back. They officially came back today at 10:30. They are only $2.99, and we have two flavors. So we have spicy and ranch.
Nice.
So you can pick and choose. You can get both, and we do have a snack wrap combo where it has 2 snack wraps, fries, and a drink. All available now at all of our locations.
Very good. And this is because there was an outcry.
Outcry fans, we heard you loud and clear. You guys won. We brought it back after 5 years in our area. So we're really excited, and we've already seen a huge turnout in our drive-thrus and in our lobbies. So we're really excited.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, I'm almost positive that I've eaten more McDonald's than any other restaurant. I mean, in my lifetime. Pretty sure.
And you're fit, so you're good.
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah,
I'm a
we're great.
poster child for McDonald's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wheels, you can get over there with Grimace if you want to.
There's no room for both of us.
Oh, I think there is.
Grimace is
Grimace
so
is
good
built,
on camera.
He's built strangely like Wheeler.
We're actually like yin and yang.
Get on in there.
Yeah, get on Mike too over there.
Don't be shy.
Well, I'm not shy.
You seem hesitant to get next to Grimace.
Well, I mean, it's been an interesting. You know what I mean. I don't need to start any beef.
No
Guess I
pun
didn't
intended.
shower well enough today or something.
Okay, seriously, guys, if you have not checked out the stream on Facebook yet or YouTube, today's the day. The camera loves Grimace. He's killing it on the stream.
There is nothing in the world like a McDonald's Coke. I'm telling you what.
It's the best.
Grimace is my favorite person. He's always happy. He's always funny. He's never complaining. Does he complain behind the scenes?
No.
Good attitude.
He just, is wanting a snack wrap today. He's hoping to get a snack wrap.
Yeah, well, I'll split one with you. How's that? Fair
there you
enough?
go.
Is he a spicy man?
I think he's ranch.
Okay.
And spicy, both.
Oh, he likes
Okay.
them both. He likes them both. All right, everyone on the stream, wave bye to Grimace. Thank you for coming by, Grimace. You're welcome here anytime. Open door. Go to McDonald's, get your snack wraps. I love it. Love it.
What if I did that?
What do you mean, what if?
Funny.
This you don't see yourself. This is what you do all the show, all the time. Grimace has a heck of a handshake, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good and solid.
Keep me honest.
Bye, McDonald's friends.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
Good
so
to see
much.
you. Bye, Grimace.
We hope you love them. Let me get a picture of that too.
Wait, hold on. Like a trophy.
Let me, you're in the background, so I like the sign right there. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
There you go. Perfect.
Enjoy, guys.
All right, thank you.
We really have been talking about this for months now.
No, we really
Since,
have.
You know, they were kind of teasing, like, I think the snack wrap's coming back. And then fast food news, there have been many updates about this. So
Yes.
this is like a really exciting moment for us.
Yeah, Jake says I'm assuming gender on Grimace. That's true. I called him a boy.
Yeah.
I may have misgendered Grimace. Who knows? I think he's a taste bud.
Yes.
I think he is a taste bud.
So he's probably genderless.
I'm enjoying my McDonald's Sprite.
I'm enjoying the Coke for real. Really good.
All right. So according to AI, canonically, because there's a McDonald's canon.
Okay.
Grimace is a male.
Okay.
So you were right.
So I didn't.
Yeah.
All right.
Did Grimace in the commercials? Did Grimace ever speak?
I've never heard Grimace's
I think he
voice.
did. I think he did. You
Might have been way back.
You can Google that one, but I have a voice in my head for Grimace. He was very much like this. But I could be making that up.
No, I think you might be right.
I am not sure at all.
All right, let's see. I'm gonna find out.
Christian says, "Bye, purple blob." Christian, his name is Wheeler.
I'm not purple though.
You're a couple shades away.
Yeah, I mean not far off.
Yeah.
A little more.
You get angry. You're purple.
Orange and red. Yeah, that's true. The forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and then that vein right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Grimace is low-key, like, cute in person. You see Grimace on the commercials, and you're like, okay, there's Grimace. When he or she, who knows what's going on, is here doing the little gestures and stuff, is like, oh, this is awesome.
Grimace used to be mean.
What?
When they first started back in the
villain.
60s, he had angry eyebrows. And he was like a villain.
Oh, I thought
And
the
then
only
he,
villain was
he
the Hamburglar.
loosened up.
I
No,
wish,
I think he was in like the crew with the burglar.
I wish Sue was here. She would be very pleased to meet
Jake
Grimace.
says that Grimace did speak with a deep voice.
Yeah. So according to this, there have been there have been at least 5 different guys that have been the voice of Grimace over the years. Exciting. We've solved it. Look at us. We're like junior detectives.
Yes.
I should have asked whenever Grimace's birthday is coming back to McDonald's. Do you guys remember that?
No.
It was like 2 summers ago. They had a promotion. It was Grimace's birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just like either a Big Mac and nuggets, but then you would get the Grimace birthday shake along with
Was it purple?
It was a purple shape.
That was recent,
shake.
yeah.
Yeah, a couple years ago, a couple summers
Yeah,
ago.
that's tracking.
I thought it was going to be a yearly thing, but we just haven't celebrated it in the U.S. anyway. So
Yeah. I wish we would have brought that up.
I should have.
Could have got his 2 cents on
Yeah,
that.
might have made him mad.
Ah, man, once again, I missed my opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Something tells me Grimace will be back.
I think so too.
I think he's like the 5th Beatle now in the BTS. Shall we take a break since there's nothing to follow up with Grimace and come back with a
You
long
can't follow
segment?
that. You can't do it.
That's
Yeah.
true. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
We started Neovitin because we wanted to create a multivitamin for ourselves. That's why we focus on quality ingredients and formulas with our multivitamins. Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins are formulated with over 20 vitamins and minerals, along with our 4-ingredient physician-formulated proprietary blend for the highest quality daily nutritional support. Give Neovitin 50 Plus multivitamins a try for yourself. Find them at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitan.com.
It doesn't take a lot to make a big difference.
That's why we've teamed up with Jerry Kelly Heating and Cooling to bring you 100 acts of kindness.
For the next 6 months, the Chris and Amy Show is challenging you to spread kindness in simple, meaningful ways. No big budget needed.
Write a thank you note, help a neighbor, surprise someone with a smile. It all counts.
Let's prove that kindness is contagious. Share your acts with us by using hashtag 100KindActs.
Because a little kindness goes a long way.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Thursday to everybody. Tomorrow's going to be a hot one. 95.
Ooh.
It's kind of Dave's limit.
Is it that
Yeah.
95s where you hit that and you're like, nope.
It's pretty much.
All right.
I start hating on summer. I've been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
Haven't been bitching too much about my HVAC.
No,
kind
you're
of
right.
regulated that out.
It's working out all right.
It's working out fine.
Looks like it's going to make it.
I've just accepted that if it doesn't, that's just the cost of being a homeowner.
Yes, it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah, can't get around it.
Yep.
I feel that I flew too close to the sun today.
How so?
I was getting used to it being a little more mild, like we talked about with Dave Murray yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Today was hotter than I was anticipating. Took that walk to City Garden. I am wearing like a sweater, like tank.
Sleeveless?
Yeah, it's sleeveless, but it's sweater material.
Yeah.
I have kind of still not cooled down from that walk. Like I'm regretting my choices.
My back was real sweaty. Not going to lie to you. Real sweaty. Wheels has, what is your biggest nope? The biggest one that rules all other nopes. So flesh that out for us.
So basically, of all the things in the world that you just can't deal with, whether it's a fear or other types of human beings or tasks or creatures, what is the thing you're like, absolutely not, no chance, zero, no matter what anything else? Like if you're afraid of snakes, for snake or a tiger, I'll deal with the tiger because I'm done with snakes. Like that's not, I don't care, but like
I had a nope go away.
You did?
I used to be terrified of spiders, and
All
then
right.
I was bitten by 3 brown recluse spiders. Now they're kind of brothers. If I saw a huntsman, I would crap my pants. But if I see a spider in my house, I literally get like a Dixie cup, get it in there, take it outside.
Yeah, I usually do that
I
too
don't
because
need beef.
they eat skeeters, so I like to throw them out in the yard. And
My biggest nope, if you said, how will we torture Dave, it would be not what happened with the implosion of the sub. Like, I don't need to implode to be absolute. I would personally implode if I were in one of those subs at the bottom of the
I
ocean.
get you. So just being in that environment,
Being
closed
trapped,
in,
closed in,
1,000 feet below the water.
all that pressure.
Yeah.
That's my biggest nope. If I think about it too long, I start to get really anxious.
Really?
And look, it's never going to happen.
Right, because you're just not going to get in that damn thing.
Yeah, I don't have the money to get in a sub, and no one's going to make me get in a sub. But that would be
What about
my
a real,
biggest
like,
nope.
what about a Navy sub?
In between?
And they were like, you can come down for a little 2-hour mission with us.
I don't think I could do it.
Okay.
Rach, would yours be space?
I would rather go to space than go in a submarine.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going down there. Spiders, don't like them. Keep me away from those. But yeah, like a submersible situation. There's no circumstance that would make me do that. Like I just wouldn't do it.
So spiders.
Yeah.
Going all the way back, do you think there's something just inherently terrifying about them? Or do you think the first people were like, come here, little kitty, and then they got bit and they're like, ugh, that thing bites?
It's not even that I'm afraid of being bitten. They're just creepy crawly. I don't want them on me. They're fast.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need that.
Remember those little black and white ones that were so fast, you felt like you were watching a speeded up film? Like they would jump.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the little jumper guys? Yeah.
Little jumper black and white ones.
Yep. Yeah,
Scary
spiders.
stuff.
I mean, I would be a little tense if I saw like a black widow. Like I don't want to be bit by anything, but like I saw a huntsman, I wouldn't want it to crawl on me, but it wouldn't freak me out.
What would your note be?
This is I thought as I wrote this down, I thought like, how do I even pick something? Because the things that would be the biggest nopes are just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like they're
Like a submersible sub at the bottom of the ocean?
But I would go on a Navy sub. I wouldn't go on one of those little personal submarines. I'm with you guys on that one. So maybe that's it. Like it's something, you know what it is? It's anything sketchy. So it's anything sketchy. Going up in a sketchy airplane if somebody's a pilot, it's the sketchiness of it. But if I had to pick one, like 111, I'd climbing something like Everest. Nope, that's a nope. On every level, don't need to expend that much energy. Don't want to die. Don't want. It's not worth it to just say, because what's the reward? I did it.
Yeah,
great.
I have a real fear of like inclines and declines.
Yeah, I don't generally, but when you see those crevices, when they're going through the glacier right there as you're jumping, no thanks. But it's the whole thing is a no thanks, though. It's not just the possible fall. It's just everything. The altitude sickness, the whole, no.
When we go to my buddy Scott's place in Colorado, the shortcut cuts off maybe 10 minutes is to go across Loveland Pass.
Okay.
And it's basically 13,000 feet. And the resort is basically 11,000 feet. So in about 5 miles, you go up that far. And the drive down, believe it or not, doesn't have many guardrails. And so in a car, it's terrifying. The first time I did it was on a motorcycle.
Oh.
And it was just...
Yeah, that's got to be rip it, man.
My eyeballs were sweating.
Did you look like Bugs Bunny with the big Google eyes?
I was trying to be cool and trying to act cool and like, oh, this is so awesome. And I'm like, just...
We did that. When I was in high school, we were driving. When I did my exchange trip to France, staying with the family there, and the kids now not kids, but that's one of my best friends in the world is my friend from France. But we went through. His dad drove us through to go to the Alps, and we were going up in those mountains. And you're like
looking over the edge.
I'm in the passenger side, and I'm looking out the window. And I can't see the rail. That's how close you are to the rail.
Yeah.
And the rail is like 1.5 feet tall. It's not stopping you from going over. And you're just like, ooh.
Brian says he almost passed out driving up Pikes Peak. Brother, I don't think I could do it. I've seen video of that. Oh. And have you seen those buses, like in South America, that there's no guardrail and the edge of the mountain's just big enough for a bus?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that would be a nope. Yeah. Like, nope, not doing that. I'm sorry. I'll just stay where I am.
Andrew, how about you?
I gotta go with the very deep water. Any depth of water. I'm not.
What about being on top of very deep water?
Like being out on a cruise ship or something.
That does not bother me.
Okay.
It's just under the water. We don't know what's going on down there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know the problem with the underwater is not, to me, is not what's down there. It's there's no air, there's no oxygen.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, for sure.
I used to have a place out in Innsbruck, and we were right on the lake and had a little pontoon boat. And you'd go out, and it was just the calmest, freshest, cleanest, greatest water. You could probably drink it if you wanted to, and you'd get in there and swim, and it was great. But a friend of mine who I took out there would not get off the boat. He said, any water I can't completely see through, I don't know what's down there. I trust you that there are no octopuses, but, would that bother anyone? Just being in a pond?
I'm not afraid to, swim in deep water, but, the thought of going under for some reason. Even in a submersible or just, going down and swimming around down there,
What nopes do you not have?
Oh.
Things that other people seem to be afraid of that really don't bother you.
Most
You know
things.
Yeah, we don't ask him. You know what I found out? I think I really enjoy, believe it or not, even though I'm terrified of heights, was flying. I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I felt like I saw so many things up there that I've never seen before. And there's really no other way to see things like that. It was so neat. You could see entire mountain ranges from up there, just from the little window of the plane or whatever. I thought that was so cool.
You're making my hand sweat.
I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The general concept of it does suck because everything about getting on a plane and going to an airport
What
is
about
terrible.
speed? I've driven a NASCAR and an Indy. I've not driven an Indy car, but I did a ride along in an Indy car, and it was crazy, exciting, fun. One of the best experiences was taking the Richard Petty driving school. But it's kind of crazy. Does that daunt you?
Yes, very much.
Going 150, 180?
I do not like going super fast in a car.
You could do
I'm
it,
in a-
Rich.
Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah.
If I felt comfortable with the driver. If it was just me,
Can I go 200?
Look at the.
What do you mean?
Would they
Look
let
at the
me do
tough
it?
guys.
No, I don't think so. Because when I did the Indy car, I asked the guy how fast we went. He said about 175.
Oh.
And it felt like we're going a
But
lot
you weren't
faster.
you weren't driving though.
No, I was riding behind.
Okay.
But they let me go 165 in the NASCAR.
Let's go.
Just me, not even a side
Yeah.
driver.
Let's go.
I had someone in front of me pacing me,
I get you.
but that was really cool.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I was so mad at
I'd love to do the dragsters.
producer Tom. Producer Tom has terrible motion sickness. So before we did the racing, we took a van with the doors wide open going 5 miles an hour to make sure there was nothing on the track. And if there was, pick it up. And he wouldn't do that because he was too afraid. And so I did the whole McGill. I got the fire suit on, got my helmet. I'm going 165 miles an hour. I'm doing the do. And then they took a picture of me next to the car. And when I went to pick it up, that son of a bitch had a picture just like mine in a fire suit and a helmet when he didn't even get in the van. That made me mad.
Yeah, it's a poser. That was stolen valor.
Yes.
Welcome to Instagram. That's the whole thing.
Right.
It's I got a photo of me doing it, so it must have happened.
Yeah. No kidding. Smart Mouth Rage?
Yeah. So there are so many different Smart Mouth products. They have a mouth sore rinse if that's something you struggle with. Canker sores, cold sores. Clinical if your gums bleed whenever you brush your teeth or floss. This is great for people with gingivitis. The original rinse eliminates your bad breath at the source. Gum health, dry mouth. Pretty self-explanatory, right? We also have dry mouth mints if that's a part of your life. We have whitening toothpaste. We have travel packs to take with you if you got a dinner or something tonight. You don't want to lug around a bottle of Smart Mouth. It's just super convenient. There's something that really fits into every lifestyle. And the best part is all of these products will eliminate your bad breath at the source.
And just to go very 101, square one, the whole thing is that Dr. Cohen, a St. Louis dentist who was a true genius, a couple of decades ago figured out that bad breath is not onions. Bad breath is not garlic. That's just something that you could put that, anywhere in your body and it's going to smell like onions or garlic. It's the decay. It's when bacteria start forming and putting out sulfur gas, just like roadkill on the side of the road. And he figured out that zinc ions stop it, and zinc ions cover up the bacteria so it doesn't happen again. And it takes 2 liquids to form that, and that's what Smart Mouth is. We can save you $2.50 off everything you buy when you go to smartmouth.com/Glover.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, for a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter. Or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
We can get more sleep, we can get more sun, and we can get more exercise, but the one thing we can't get more of is time. It's time to eliminate the one phrase that could be holding you back from reaching your retirement goals. I'll take care of it tomorrow. It's time to pick up the phone and make the call to Gary Goldberg and the team at Financial and Tax Strategies, 314-991-9005, or online at checkwithgary.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial, Inc., an FFC registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Gary Goldberg, NPN number 918615.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
But whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800-PREDICT today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
Chris Ranji for Siteman Cancer Center, and you have to know that you are somebody's favorite person, and your health matters not just to you, but it matters to people who care about you. Getting screened early for any cancer, whether it's colon or breast cancer, prostate cancer, or lung cancer, it is important to do that. Siteman has set up a website called GetScreenedNow.com, and when you go to it, it's going to help you find a location nearer you. If you live a little farther out from St. Louis and don't want to make the trip into the city, you can get screened closer to home. GetScreenedNow.com, because for me, I'm over 45. It's time for that colonoscopy. Third leading cause of cancer-related deaths in both men and women. And GetScreenedNow.com will help you find a location that is good for you. Doing it early, really, really important. GetScreenedNow.com.
Your home for St. Louis Cardinals baseball. 104.1 FM. KMOX. The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, it's a partly cloudy sky. Right now, 89 degrees downtown at the Arch. The Rams settlement money will soon be used to help victims of May's tornado. How will it be spent?
The city will divide 2/3 of the Rams settlement money they allocated into 6 categories. They include funding for case management and legal services, providing cooling through water stations and sprinklers, and repairs for and underinsured victims. Mayor Kara Spencer adds another fund is being dubbed Unmet Needs.
This includes some additional rental assistance for folks that are falling through the FEMA cracks, non-congregate temporary housing, and storage of personal belongings.
The city cannot duplicate FEMA's efforts, which is why they waited until now to announce these plans. The remaining nearly $10 million will be held to backfill any programs that run out of funding. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The major redevelopment of the Millennium Hotel site sends a message to other developers who might be interested in considering downtown, says Kurt Weigel, the chief downtown officer for Greater St. Louis, Inc. In the interim, they work on other ways to engage people and make sure they feel safe and enjoy their experience downtown.
Things like our downtown summer nights that is coming up again tonight are so important, just to create the right kind of vibe downtown, movies and music and fun, great St. Louis food, the smell of, food trucks wafting through the air. It takes all of these things.
Governor Mike Kehoe signed Senate Bill 68 into law Wednesday. A key component is for Missouri school districts to create and enact a cell phone ban for students.
We think it's important for kids to be able to interact with each other, pay attention to their teachers, talk to each other at lunch. It's a fantastic tool to get kids and their test scores and what they need to get done in school in a better spot.
Kehoe says the bill also requires CPR training for employees of all school districts. The KMOX Business Desk could have a Trump administration slam against Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell.
The Trump administration continues going after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. The president has urged Powell's dismissal for not cutting interest rates.
I call him too late. T-O-O, too late, like Too Tall Jones for the Dallas Cowboys.
Today, White House Budget Chief Russ Vought suggests Powell misused government money in renovating the Fed's headquarters. In a letter to Powell, Vought calls the renovation plan an ostentatious overhaul and submitted a series of questions about whether the project complied with federal standards. He also suggests Powell misled Congress by saying the buildings never had a serious renovation. Vought writes a 1999 to 2003 update of its roof and building systems counts as a comprehensive renovation. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The Dow from Stifel up 250 points to 44,709.
Let's pop our temperature up to 92 degrees this afternoon. Partly sunny skies, a tough-to-find spot storm. Let's not worry about it. Then tonight, full moon night, partly cloudy skies, 74 for the overnight low. Friday, partly sunny, maybe a spot storm, 95 degrees. Hottest of the week is Friday, the record 106 from 1966. Not even close. It's tough to get a record in July. Friday night, partly cloudy skies, 76. Saturday, partly sunny, but let's expect some scattered thunderstorms around on Saturday. The main features will be heavy downpours of rain and lightning. 89 degrees. Saturday, a bit of a day to stay alert. No all-day rain, but let's stay alert on Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny and 88. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Anderson Hospital, we've got some clouds. It's 89 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Serving the Metro East region with excellence, Anderson Hospital is proud to be named one of Newsweek's World's Best Hospitals for 2025. Experience world-class care close to home. AndersonHospital.org.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. A few minutes past 2 p.m. Going to be about 93 degrees today. Going to be about 95 degrees tomorrow. Then I think it gets a little more temperate. We'll get all the 411 from Dave Murray at 3:30. Right now, we welcome attorney Brad Young back to the show. He's with us every Thursday. He always has really interesting topics. Brad, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great, Dave. How about you?
Doing well, doing well. Grimace was just in, so how can you not be doing well? We're eating McDonald's and hanging out with Grimace.
Wow, just watch your wallet if Hamburglar comes around.
Oh, yeah, we found out we can get the burglar. He's going to be coming in.
Oh, sweet.
Now, Rach, what is your thing with him? Were you afraid of him or you like him? I forget.
I just said Hamburglar one time on
Oh,
air.
see,
I just said it wrong.
It's become DGS canon.
Because I say
Yeah.
everything wrong. I'm a big mispronouncer. It's a huge problem as a broadcaster. I said Hamburglar one time, and we've been married ever since.
So, Brad, we have three stories here. Missouri banned student phones in K through 12. Is this a law now?
Yeah, Governor Kehoe just signed it into law, I believe, yesterday, and it goes into effect this fall. Now, there are some exceptions to the law. For example, if a child is diabetic or has other medical conditions that might require monitoring on a cell phone, then they get those exceptions. And there's also an exception for if there's an emergency. So what I believe schools are going to implement is having the cell phones put into, like those things that your mom had where she stored her shoes in a closet.
Yeah.
Remember those things that would hang on the back of the closet?
Right.
It was those little cases where your mom would put her shoes. One of those types of devices to put cell phones in, So that seems to try as an attempt rather to kind of balance between kids should have access to phones if there's an emergency. On the other hand, we don't really want them doing Snapchat all day long when they're supposed to be studying.
Do you like it as an attorney? Do you like it as a parent? Do you like it as just a guy? What do you think?
I like it as a parent. As an attorney, I can see a lot of potential issues because at what point do you say every kid has a problem, needs a cell phone to be with them all the time? And then you get into one of those situations where everyone says they have a different kind of condition or disease that requires it, and there's going to have to be a lot of exceptions. So I see that as a problem as an attorney. As a parent, I was constantly talking to my kids. I've still got my youngest daughter still in school, so I've talked to her about, you got to stay off these phones because it's distracting. You're at school to learn, not to be texting your friends.
And what is it with Donald Trump and the TikTok ban? Where as I understand it, Congress passed the TikTok ban. It is Congress's purview to make the laws. And then the chief executive, by executive order, has said a couple of times, not so much. We're going to kick this can down the road. Is that constitutional?
Well, that's a great question. I think the answer to that is no. Now, when you look at the actual TikTok ban, I've read it, or the actual law itself, signed into law by President Biden. It allows the president to give an extension if there is something brewing regarding a potential buyer. Now, we have that now, but there's not baked into this law that you get to grant these extensions infinitely. I mean, you only get to give one extension, and yet President Trump has continued to say we're going to kick the can down the road. Now, the question becomes, is that constitutional? Well, the president is literally charged by the Constitution to enforce the laws. And as you remember from law school, there's a great phrase called arbitrary and capricious, which it sounds really interesting and makes you sound very intellectual. But at the end of the day, what that means is that you can't have laws that are enforced based upon whether you simply want to or not. That's arbitrary and capricious. And right now, I think we're seeing this in real time when it comes to the TikTok ban.
Go ahead, Wales.
I wanted to ask Brad, and I know it's hard because we're not talking. I know that there are things that can happen, like national emergencies, whatever, where things might need to be done expediently. But why are executive orders legal? Why do we have this special thing that's not in crisis mode, right? Not if you've been attacked, not if there was a giant earthquake, right? I'm not talking like there clearly are rules for national emergencies, but why do we have a system set up where the legislative branch essentially just gets cut out of the lawmaking process?
Well, that's a great question. And here's the answer to that, Wheels. Even though we have three equal branches of government, judicial, we have the executive and the legislative, they're not equal in terms of size. The vast majority of everything that we think of as the government is the executive branch. And the legislative branch is minute compared to that, and the judicial branch is even smaller. So what you have is you have executive orders that are binding on the executive branch, and that controls most of the mechanisms of government. However, when an executive order violates a law, then the executive order takes second place. It is submissive or should be subordinate to any law that conflicts with it. So it's kind of like the situation we have when you talk about state law versus federal law. States can pass all the laws they want, but if it conflicts with a federal law preempts it. And that's kind of the way you have to look at an executive order.
Okay. I just think it's kind of like it's been an end around and it's been getting worse for 30 plus years, and nobody seems to ever stand up to the office of the presidency when they want to use that tool, because as you know, the problem with them is all it takes is a new president to be in there and they can just unwrite what was done and rewrite something else, and that's not really good.
And I don't think it's an issue, Wheels, of people not standing up to whatever president issues that executive order. I think it's been done a lot. But the question then becomes, if you look at the executive branch as a business and the president is the CEO, then the president can issue executive orders that impact the executive branch so long as they don't try to invalidate or conflict with laws that are passed by Congress and signed into law by the president. So the executive can do whatever he or she wants for that branch, just can't violate laws.
Klaatu 1976 online says, so are they going to limit the legislature using their phones on the House floor? I visited the Capitol, and all of the reps are on their phones, but it's an interesting question. What if, for example, my company said, you're ours from 9 to 5. You can use your phones at lunch. You can use your phones in an emergency. Other than that, though, put them down.
Absolutely. Any company can do that. And if a person gets caught on their phone, they can be fired for that. You don't have a constitutional right to be on your phone for a private company.
Interesting.
Yeah, they just would lose a lot of employees is their problem.
Yeah, it's just these conversations are always interesting because I do see people get up in arms and like, well, they need their phone. They need their phone. There are tons of jobs out there where you are not allowed to have a cell phone. And we also did so many things without cell phones, like up until 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it just feels wild to be like, oh, they should have a phone under any circumstance when they're at school. We had cell phones. Cell phones were invented when I was in high school. There was no expectation that we would be able to carry them or use them during class.
Hey, you'd have freaked out if you'd have been able to.
Yeah, and we just had flip phones. We didn't have smartphones like they have today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got caught with your phone at school, you were in huge trouble. I don't know where the shift happened to where it's like, oh, they should just be allowed to have them whenever.
I know the concern that I've heard from some parents, because it's the era of school shootings, that if something goes wrong, they want their kid to have that. Which is why my argument would be you put them in those, what we're talking about, like those little cubby holes or pouches inside each classroom that they go into.
Yes, and so I think that's
if you're in that room, you can go get it if there's an emergency.
Yeah,
exactly. And then that way, when the class is over, the kids could go get them out of the pouches. They can have their cell phones during breaks in between
lunchtime,
classes,
whatever,
and then they go to the next class and into the pouch they go.
Yeah.
Lunchtime though, I think in this bill, right, Brad, they're not allowed to have them even at lunch.
You know what? I did not see that in the bill one way or the other. I'll have to go back and take a look at it. But I mean, from a policy standpoint, I certainly don't see any problems with kids having their phones from a policy perspective at lunch. The real question is, are they spending time in the classroom on cell phones instead of learning?
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, we're talking to attorney Brad Young. We do it every Thursday at 2 p.m. Let's move on to the Trump administration has sued California over transgender athletes in schools.
Yeah. Now, to me, this is really interesting because it dovetails with something that's happening at the Supreme Court right now. But let's set the stage here. California has a law, I think it goes back to 2013 under California state law, that says kids can participate in sports based upon their gender that they identify as. And so the Trump administration has now filed a lawsuit stating that by doing this, that California is discriminating primarily against women by allowing transgendered women to participate in women's sports. And so this is a lawsuit that's ongoing. But the reason why I think this is interesting here, Dave, is because we just saw last month the Supreme Court upheld the Tennessee right to ban gender-affirming care if it so chooses. And now the Supreme Court is taking up a case about West Virginia, about whether West Virginia can prohibit transgender sports activities. But this is the opposite side of the same coin. And that is, can a state use and allow for transgender kids in sports, whereas the case in West Virginia is whether the state can ban transgender kids in sports. And so we have these two sides of the coin kind of coalescing here at the exact same time.
And then finally, this is not Keanu, inside the $1 billion celebrity impersonation Bitcoin scams.
Oh, this is huge. And this is even happening right here in the St. Louis area. What's happening is there's this enormous increase of people using AI either for photographs or for audio and tricking people into sending them money. And last year alone, the FBI reported $672 million in losses that include these kind of losses. But a lot of times these losses don't even get reported because people feel stupid. They're thinking, oh, yeah, I really did think Keanu Reeves was asking me for $100,000. And so they don't report it, but it's an enormous problem. I've seen a lot of the ways this is done. There's laws right now. Actually, there's a law in Tennessee to help protect against this. There's another law pending in California that will give law enforcement more ability to stop this stuff from happening. But this is an enormous issue nationwide.
Okay, very good. Brad, you're the best. We appreciate it every week.
Hey, my pleasure, guys.
Since we have lawyers in all 50 states, I see and hear lots of lawyer ads. It seems that most are bragging on what they got their clients. But be careful. If you heard that someone sold their car for $500,000, you would be impressed. But if you later learned that it was a rare $10 million Ferrari, would you say that person got screwed? And that's before you even know if it's true. Who is fact-checking? And how much went to medical bills and lawyers' fees? If you want to get an idea what your case may be really worth, visit forthepeople.com and go to Settlements and Verdicts. You will see what a law firm like ours is capable of. And fact check for yourself. All that glitters is not gold. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. We won big, a lot. At Morgan & Morgan, we represent consumers. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Total Information AM, weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Pretty day out there, hot day out there, heading to the game tonight. Was going with the whole family, but the girl took sick. So maybe me and my buddy Nick.
There you go. Guys' night out.
Still fun.
Yeah, boys' night out. Boy, we'll get tanked.
Look out. Look out. People at the ballpark, be careful.
Look out,
Right.
world.
Here come the Glovers. How's everyone's wart doing?
I don't think mine was a wart, and it's gone.
Okay, good.
Oh, well, it must be nice. Mine's been in here for years, so I think this is just a part of
You
me.
two are opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Just part of the scenery.
Twin.
Yeah, just
mine's
name
just
it.
mine's just my buddy. He just popped up a few years ago, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? Hang out.
You know how I am constantly at lunch talking about baryon acoustic oscillation?
Yes, every day, nonstop.
So this is really interesting that, remember I talked to you about that giant void in space that goes like 100 light years across? There's just nothing there. Astronomers now think that we live in a void, that our local universe is contained in a void because of some sort of... it sounded to me as a layman like sort of echolocation that bats do, that we send out noise and we perceive noise and we're able to tell the density of this and that. But they believe now that our local part of the universe, the solar system and the local galaxies are in a big void. Did that do anything to you?
Okay. Hear me out.
Okay.
If the place that we are in contains us, then by definition, can it be a void?
Well, it's not a complete void.
Okay.
It would be sort of like the difference between being in a high school basketball gym with full capacity or being in there with 8 people.
I see. Okay.
So it's more like that.
That makes more sense.
Yes.
Okay.
And did you see who is the new NASA chief?
No.
Sean friggin' Duffy, the head of transportation, whose resume is having been on an MTV reality show and a Fox News contributor, is now the interim chief of NASA.
We should launch him into space.
I think knowing what baryon acoustic oscillation is qualifies me more than him.
Oh, he said, honored to accept this mission.
Shut up.
Time to take over space.
Shut your ass.
Let's launch. That's what he wrote on X.
Let's launch.
He said, let's launch.
Let's launch.
Let's launch.
What a douche.
To be fair, that's just kind of how people talk on social media.
I hate it. Why can't we just pick people that know stuff?
And you're telling me
You know what I
Sean
wanna
Duffy
do?
doesn't know about
You know what I want
NASA?
to do? You know, that space agency? Let's put somebody in charge of that doesn't know anything about anything. That's a great idea. That'll help.
But what do you really do as the head of NASA, right?
I mean,
you're not building the rocket
You're an
ships.
administrator, but like some kind of understanding of science and space and, you know, the what and the where and the how and the why would be nice. Would you, let me ask you this. I'll throw this at you. If your favorite sports team hired someone that unqualified to be your president of, say, baseball operations, somebody who has never worked in baseball before, someone who has only adjacently even mentioned it in their life, what would you as a sports fan think of your team?
Kevin's trying to
Great
lead us up
analogy.
to tell us that he's been hired.
Yeah, like just as an example, if the Cardinals hired me to to replace Mo, they would be rightly ridiculed, and fans would be incensed because it's ridiculous.
But it's worse than that.
But I know more about
You know
baseball
more
than he
about
knows about
baseball,
space.
For sure.
Yes, but it would still be insane
He
if that
doesn't
happened.
even know that the void we live in is called the Hubble bubble.
I mean, God
That's adorable.
almighty.
Isn't it? It's kind of cute, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it now.
Aw.
It's so funny, like when
Yeah.
you think of these
The
big,
Hubble Bubble.
these big things. Everybody's like, "Well, it's just, why are they any less qualified than anybody else?" But if you were to say, if you make it relatable,
I don't like
I'm
people
gonna,
who talk like that.
I'm gonna run your favorite sports team. I've never done it. I've never worked in the sport, but I'm gonna do it because the owner likes me.
Isn't
He
it
likes
funny
me.
how we all do that when we're doing the voice of a
Yeah.
stupid person.
And then they were like, I'm a stupid idiot.
I should be able to run NASA because I know how to do the spaceship.
We never say like, oh, and then he goes, I'm Sean Duffy, and it's always like,
Sean
Yeah.
Duffy. I run space.
Okay, I just want to address something in the stream. I have addressed this before. I'm sorry about the audio issues on YouTube, Facebook, whatever. We don't do anything different on a day-by-day basis. I really think it's certain people's equipment. I'm
It
sorry.
may also be the services themselves because the
Yeah.
problem seems to be more prominent on Facebook than on others.
It's something that
try
we,
YouTube.
we click around with, but there's not really a lot of control we have over
Right.
it.
So I apologize, but I mean, there's
Nothing we can
not a
do.
solution that we know of.
If we find one, we will 100% enact it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a really dumb moment. Wasn't even enhanced
Did
by
you do
gummies.
it in the dumb guy voice?
Yeah, I did. I saw a television teaser that said, and it was about a dog that is a DEA dog that was injured and came back to work. And it says, 4-legged DEA agent returns to work. And I'm like, we're hiring freaks. We got a 4-legged DEA agent? Like, I really, truly did. I'm like, and I'm watching TV like, I got to see this spider come walking out. And then it was a dog. I'm like, you are
It's a
stupid.
German Shepherd.
You're very, very stupid.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Mark Scores. The Chris and Amy Show.
I would just like to say you guys are awesome. I've just been turned on to this since it's been on 104.1 at the FM dial, and I think you guys make me laugh, and you're informative. I just love you guys' show. You guys are amazing.
The Chris and Amy Show. Weekdays at 9 on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm gonna have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
As a member of Quiver River Electric Cooperative, you're more than just a customer. You're part of something special. Our co-op is owned by you, the community, meaning your voice matters. We exist to provide a service to you. Together with cooperatives like ours across the state and country, we're working to strengthen our grid, innovate with new technologies, and share valuable knowledge to build a stronger, more sustainable future for everyone. That's the cooperative difference. Quiver River Electric Cooperative, powering our communities together.
And now Dave Murray's forecast.
Let's pop our temperature up to 92 degrees this afternoon. Partly sunny skies, a tough-to-find spot storm. Let's not worry about it. Then tonight, full moon night, partly cloudy skies, 74 for the overnight low. Friday, partly sunny, maybe a spot storm, 95 degrees. Hottest of the week is Friday, the record 106 from 1966. Not even close. It's tough to get a record in July. Friday night, partly cloudy skies, 76. Saturday, partly sunny, but let's expect some scattered thunderstorms around on Saturday. The main features will be heavy downpours of rain and lightning. 89 degrees. Saturday, a bit of a day to stay alert. No all-day rain, but let's stay alert on Saturday. Sunday, partly sunny at 88. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
This Siteman Cancer Center spotlight how innovative immunotherapy is showing promise against aggressive T-cell cancers. Dr. John DePercio.
patients have come here from all over the United States and, in fact, all over the world to get evaluated and treated for this treatment. We hope that this can be continued, that we demonstrate in a clinical trial that it's safe and effective, and that ultimately it will be approved by the FDA so it's available to everyone in the world.
For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
Summer is here. Time to enjoy baseball, barbecues, and the shade of your trees. When it comes to tree care, call the certified arborist at Gamma Tree Experts. Hi, I'm Tim Gamma. Protect your valuable trees from storm damage or devastating insects such as the emerald ash borer. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. For pruning, spraying, fertilization, or removals, call Gamma Tree Experts today at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
Today, the Cards, the Nationals.
Ameren Total Access 550.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Our conversation with Ricky Horton is brought to you by Goodwill. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Welcome back, DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Time to talk to our pal Ricky Horton. Hello, Rick.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Good, buddy. I was thrilled to get your text the other day, and I got to tell you, for the rest of the day, I pulled this one on about 15 people. I'd be in the middle of a conversation. I'd go, I'm sorry, I'm getting a text. Oh, it's Ricky Horton.
I was listening to you guys. You guys were cracking me up, so I had to get in the middle of it.
That was awesome. I loved it. So Miles goes tonight, and I was saying earlier, I don't know Miles. I have no reason to dislike Miles, but I'm frustrated, as we all are with this. And if he could get back in form and get down to a decent ERA and have good outings, great. Yeah. Go all the way through. But if he can't, boy, let's just wrap this thing up.
Well, there's two things about Miles I think very strongly about. Number one is I love the way he handles games after he pitches, good, bad, or indifferent. He is the first person to stand at his locker. He does not shy away from the hard questions. He'll answer them. He'll admit when he doesn't do well. And, not every player does that. There are no excuses with him, which I appreciate. And so that's kind of step one. He's very professional about that, and I think a good example for everybody else. But clearly, he hasn't pitched well for a long time, and in several starts in a row, I should say. And so I think the big question with Miles is, and we know that he's capable of stringing a few good games together where, guys are hitting ground balls at people and life is fun. But the other question is, if not, Miles or to your second question, if not Miles, if not Erick Fedde, then who? There's not really an answer to that. Not enough of an answer to that. That's simple.
So bigger picture, and it does apply to the Miles thing we're talking about, Ricky, but it really is more than that. I think it applies a little bit to Fedde as well, but it's a bigger picture pitcher question. Boy, that's hard to say. Bigger picture pitcher question. Mm-hmm. When you have a pitch that you have relied on, but it's just not getting anybody out, how hard is it to just say, I need to shelf this? I mean, as an example, Miles' four-seam fastball has got a 700 slug against it this year, and opponents are hitting 350 against it. And his other pitches are much better. The slider, the curveball, the sinker, the changeup, they all have way more success than that. They have varying levels of success, but better than that. But is it a lot for someone like me on the outside to say, maybe just don't throw that as much as you are because it's not working?
It's funny, when you started that question, I was thinking you were delving into my past, because I do it. I honestly, I do recognize the difficulty of that. It's like, look, I'm a change-up guy. I'm a slider guy. And then, you back up third base 5 times in a row and you say, well, wait a minute, that slider's not working. And, in my case, there was the physical reason. There's an age reason and physical reason that my slider wasn't working and my changeup wasn't working. I didn't have the same finish. So from that point, I tried throwing sidearm. I tried throwing a fork ball. I tried throwing, basically underhand, not underhand, but kind of a sidearm pitcher,
Right.
and that didn't work either. So it's kind of like, okay, you try anything and everything, and I will say Miles has tried to throw a more of a sweeper type pitch, and that's kind of an adjustment that both he and Palante are trying to make. So everybody's willing to try that stuff. That's how Fetty got back to the big leagues, by learning a sweeper. And so you're always experimenting with that stuff. And when a pitch isn't working, you have to kind of go to plan B, and maybe that's the plan going forward here.
How are we looking on injuries? Who are we supposed to get back and when?
Well, Ivan Herrera said he wants to start playing, so that's kind of good news. I think the Cardinals are slow playing him because when you're talking about a hamstring, that's one of those things that feels good on a Monday, and then you play and it hurts again, and then you're back to square one. I mean, on Wednesday. So you have to be careful about hamstrings. It's always longer than you think. That's for whatever reason. That's just kind of the way it is. So I think that's one guy. I think Jordan Walker is. Is he injured or is he trying to find his swing? I kind of think it's more the latter, honestly, with him. If he figures out the way to get his swing plane right and drive the baseball, I think we'll all consider him healthier.
Yeah, it's interesting. The timing plays into this too, right, Ricky? You could send, let's say Herrera feels like he's ready. You could send him out on a rehab assignment today, but he's not going to be ready before the end of the All-Star break. So makes sense to push that off a little bit and then do some of your rehab next week during the break, although there's not like Monday's an off day at AAA and all that. But there are ways to play it so that you're going to be ready when the second half starts, because doing it today probably doesn't come with much benefit.
Yeah, the X number of days, and I think it's 15, but I'm not sure. Kevin, maybe you know that once you start a rehab assignment, you've got X number of days to make a decision on somebody.
Yes.
So you don't want to send them to a rehab while they're kind of still hurt. And then the idea is, okay, now that they're at the end of the rehab and you have to send them on the injured list again, I mean, I just think that or do something else with them or call them up. I just think that's you're creating a problem if you're not sure that they're ready to go. And so, unfortunately, honestly, Cardinals can't complain much about injuries other than Zach Thompson. This has been a pretty healthy team from day one compared to the rest of Major League Baseball. That has not been our number one problem.
Boy, what a movie script it was with J.J. Weatherhold making his AAA debut last night.
Yeah, so happy for him. We saw him a lot, Dave, in spring training, and he looked good. I mean, he really did. I mean, I'm not sure what his best position is. That's, I think, yet to be determined. But, he's coming fast, and, he hit AA pitching very well. So did Ethan Church, by the way. I mean, or Nathan Church.
Yeah.
Nathan Church has been outstanding. He's hitting like 360, I believe, in AAA after hitting about that in AA. And so there's another guy that's a gamer. People liken him to be like a Brendan Donovan type player. It's the problem is they're all left-handed. Everybody that can hit in AAA is left-handed.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of lefties, but we need to hit left-handed pitching. So we need some right-handed bats to start shining.
Church is an interesting guy. He so coming into the year, he was a ranked Cardinals prospect, but kind of like I think number 23, 24, 25. He'd not really hit a lot, but the bat has turned this year, because if you look at the scouting reports on him, he's a 70 speed, so he's high-end speed. And he's got good defensive ability, but there were questions about the hit. Well, he's already got more home runs this year than he had all of last year in less than half the number of games. And as you mentioned, Rick, he's hitting 335, slugging over 500. He's 24 also, so yet another guy that adds to this mix of where do we fit everybody in. And I wonder if that's just going to be Chaim Bloom's task to sort it all out and make trades that balance it out.
So one of the good things to celebrate when a guy in AAA is doing well, whether it's Weatherholt or Church or whoever it might be, if you got a guy that's coming on playing well, what that does is it gives you some depth when it comes to making moves. You can say, well, we could trade a Nathan Church for maybe one of our outfielders and maybe not lose that much if we gain something with something else.
Right.
I mean, that becomes kind of the decision making. So the more you got guys developing, the better, no question.
I have an embarrassingly simple baseball question because I played a lot of baseball in my life, but I've never really been coached or trained. I know the Cardinals have a hard time hitting left-handed pitching. Why is it so difficult for a left-handed batter to hit left-handed pitching?
Well, I think that's a great question, and I think maybe not a lot of people understand that. But if you think about a left-hander's angle towards a left-handed batter, from a left-handed batter, it almost looks like the ball is coming from behind you. I mean, the release point of a left-handed pitcher, a right-handed pitcher, you can see it the whole way because they're on the other side of the rubber and it's coming towards you. A left-handed pitcher, it's coming almost from behind you, away from you, especially when they throw a slider. So you've got a pitch that you're not picking up quite as quickly, and it's also going away from you instead of towards you. I think that's the simplest answer for that.
Yeah, and you think about the long term. This is just simply like human genetics, right? Only 10% of the population is left-handed. So, like, I think it's like 20 to 25% of major league pitchers are left-handed. So it's actually a much greater population in baseball than it is in the regular world. But you'll grow up as a hitter. And I've actually done this, Ricky, coaching 14-year-olds. We'll have a whole season. You maybe play 60 games, 65 games. You'll see 3 lefties, maybe.
Yeah.
Sometimes more, sometimes not. It's just left-handed hitters just never see them.
Well, Kevin, at your level too, and at every level, it just seems like lefties have a little bit more funk to their delivery too, a little more movement. There's just something different about it, and guys aren't, and you're not used to seeing it. And like playing a video game, you're training your eyes to do the same thing, and all of a sudden you have a different variable in there. I think that's kind of what it's like.
Yeah, you lefties are all a little weird, Ricky.
Yeah, yes, we are, 100%.
So by the same token, do righties hit lefties better, or do righties hit righties better?
Well, not all of them. That's what's interesting. And I think maybe what Kevin's saying is because you see less of them, there are some right-handers that don't hit lefties well. They don't like the ball, like lefties that have a good changeup to move the ball away from them. Honestly, when the ball's moving away from you, it can be a lot tougher because you're trying to pull the ball, you're trying to drive the ball, and it's going off your bat. So the key for pitching is to throw pitches from the middle of the plate that move away and from the middle of the plate that move in. And as long as you're doing that, from my point of view, it doesn't matter lefty or righty. But I think it is interesting that some righties do not like left-handed pitchers either. I can name you several people that were like that over the years.
Yeah, there are some guys with reverse splits for the reason that you're talking about, but it also comes into what's your swing plane? Are you, like how do you see the ball? There's a lot of things that go into it.
I don't think Jordan Walker hits left-handed pitching very well right now.
No.
Not right now. Now, it doesn't mean he can't, but right now he doesn't.
No, and if you think about it, it makes sense, Ricky, because his weakness is that pitch low and away, whether it's a slider, a two-seam fastball, or a changeup, and the lefties can put it there. Yeah.
Ricky, if we do go for a pitcher, let's say that things go well and we're buyers at the trade deadline, are there any pitchers out there that are available who you like?
Not really. Honestly, I mean, yes, there are pitchers out there that we all like, but the question is at what cost? So if you're saying we don't like this pitcher and that pitcher, let's get new ones. You say, okay, do you want Chris Taylor? Do you want Zach Plesac? Because that's who you can get, and they're both in AAA right now. But I mean, so the point is availability is hard, and it's not like they're just going to give you somebody of great value without saying, okay, we'll give you a pitcher that you like, and we'll take Mason Wynn. Would you do that deal?
Yeah.
And the answer is probably no. So that's going to be almost every deal, Dave, that it's going to come down to, do you want to give up, Mason Wynn and Brendan Donovan, and we'll give you this right hand. We'll give you Jack Flaherty for those two guys. We're not going to do that.
Ricky, if I gave you the authority to protect one player, not like a Sonny Gray, but like a player that could be starting, say, as high as Brendan Donovan, if you could protect one player at the deadline, who would you protect?
I would protect Brendan Donovan personally. I mean, he is a gamer. I mean, I love Brendan Donovan. I would protect Brendan Donovan, and honestly, at this point, I'd protect Mason Wynn too, because I just think what he gives you defensively is extraordinarily good, and those kind of shortstops just don't grow on trees.
All right, buddy. Have a great game tonight.
Yep. Thanks.
know that by donating your gently used items to Goodwill, you're not only giving those items a new life, but you're helping people right here in your community enrich their lives with meaningful work. Your donations support Goodwill's mission of helping people with barriers to employment to be able to get rewarding jobs which provide not only a paycheck, but a very important sense of purpose. Your donations really do change lives. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill.
Cardinals fans, join the conversation at Busch Stadium with some of your favorite former Cardinals. With the Cardinals Conversations presented by Edward Jones, you'll hear from former Cardinals such as Ozzie Smith, Ted Simmons, Ray Langford, David Eckstein, or David Freese. Each conversation hosted by Cardinals announcers Chip Carey or Brad Thompson. Your experience also will include a ticket to the game, a pre-signed photo, and the opportunity to take your photo with the featured player. Get your tickets today at cardinals.com/conversations.
Experience the magic of the Fabulous Foxes 2025-2026 Broadway season, which includes the return of St. Louis favorite, The Phantom of the Opera, and the spellbinding spectacular Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. And right now, KMOX has your chance to win a pair of season tickets for the 2025-2026 season. Prize package includes a pair of tickets for all 8 shows in the subscription package. Register now online at KMOX.com/contests for your chance to win.
Hi, this is Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial. Let's tune out the noise a little bit and focus on a retirement plan. If you don't have one or don't know how to get started, find us on our website at saxfinancial.com or retiresafestl.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 249. I realized something about myself recently. Follow me on this analogy. I think you'll get it. Wheels, when we played baseball at your facility, after doing the normal stuff, I said, let's play amazing catches. And every kid played this as a kid, where you'd be playing catch with your buddy, and then you'd be like, let's play fantastic catches. And you would intentionally throw a pop fly so that they couldn't catch it. It's almost impossible. But if they caught it, oh, it's an amazing catch. I loved that game. And I was great at that game. I was probably as good at catching impossible catches as I was a one-hopper straight at me. And I think my whole life has been like this. If you say, Dave, I have an assignment for you, and it's simple, I will fail. But if you say, I've got something for you to do, I have a 4-hour show where you have to come up with all the content and do it every single day, 200, 250 times a year, that's impossible. I'll do it. But the simpler the task you give me, the more chance I'm going to fail. Does that resonate with anybody? And I think it's because I want the chance to look amazing. It's part of its ego. But I also want it to be like, if you don't catch it, if you don't do the 204-hour shows a year, no one thinks you're a loser. They just think, well, that was impossible anyway. But if they give me an assignment like be a lawyer and work up this case to trial, it's pretty straightforward. You have a Washington law degree, you should be able to do it. But I failed at it, then you're kind of a loser.
I get what you're saying in that part, the psychology of it.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to fail at something big versus fail at something simple.
Yes.
Because you don't feel stupid when you fail at something big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Always give me the fantastic catches.
Yeah.
But it's not like I catch them all.
No, which that's the point, though, right? I mean, think about it like if you're watching a ball game. If you look at a play and it was a 10% catch chance and the guy makes it, it's amazing. But if he doesn't get it, nobody's going to yell at him. It's not an error.
Exactly.
It's just like, hey, you're not supposed to catch that one.
Exactly.
Yeah. But when you get the ground ball right at you and it goes through the wickets, everybody yells at you.
I also think I've become incredibly lazy with reading. I had a little topic I wanted to bring up because I was going through the news on my phone today, looking for show prep, and an article said the seven foods that stave off Alzheimer's. Well, we all know my deal with Alzheimer's. So, of course, I'm going to read this article. And I think that what I want is for them to go, beans.
Yes, you just want the list.
I just want the list.
Yeah.
And not
but
only
it's a clickbait, so
did
they want you to
never
click.
Give me the list. They had this exhaustive article about what is Alzheimer's and and plaques and and amyloids. Just tell me what to eat. And I was mad, and I'm like, I wrote down 7 foods article, go off on this, but then I'm like, well, maybe I'm just a lazy ass.
No,
that's clickbait.
It is clickbait. I've been got several times in the past couple of weeks, but CNN has some article about like the 8 biggest mistakes adults make financially. And I've clicked on it because I'm like, this will be great for the show. It'll be great to share. And it just turns into like they're trying to sell you certain lines of credit or whatever.
Yeah.
It's designed to make you glaze over. They just want the click and the time spent on the page.
Well,
so
I don't like
I don't think it's you refusing to read. I think it's...
No, it's that the content you're clicking on is actually not in that article, and it's probably at a link at the bottom for you to click on and then pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was also thinking, I guess Tom Brady's buying a Premier League soccer team or something like that. I don't know. He's somehow
or buying
getting
into
involved.
it somehow.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much money Tom Brady has, but let's say it's $300 million.
It's more than that?
Yeah, it's probably more than that. Let's say $500 million. So $500 million is a number that none of us can even contemplate, right? Our life would be done and complete. I have $500 million. And isn't it screwed up to think that someone like Trump or Bezos or Musk, if they were down to $500 million, they would be crapping their pants. Crapping their pants.
We're going to have to sell one of the yachts.
How can we possibly live on $500 million?
Yeah, well, I don't think that's how they think of it. Because I don't think it matters. They don't need anything. You don't need anything at $500 million. You don't need anything at $500 billion. It's just about the status that comes with the number.
Just a you-know-what measuring contest?
That, the power that comes with it, knowing you can throw it around to do whatever you want. I think at that level, again, not picking on those people in particular, but at that level, it's a compulsion. It's not just I want to do this. It's I have no choice. I need to do this. Because there have been interviews with the richest men in the world in history, right? I think it was Rockefeller at one point was the richest man in the world, and a journalist asked him, how much is enough? And he's like, just a little more.
You know what level of wealthy I am? And I'm not trying to be cute. I have a fan that blows on me right in my face at night, and I've had it for 7 years. It's never been turned off. It just works every single day. And I thought to myself today, what if I come home and it's broken? I can buy another fan just like that. That is literally my comfort level of wealth, is that my debit card's going to go through, and I can buy a new fan.
When you retire, the paycheck from your job will likely stop. But here's what won't stop: bills, taxes, and medical issues. Sure, there's Social Security, but that may not be enough. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can show you potential ways to develop a new stream of income that can last as long as you live. Kind of like having your own personal pension. You won't have to worry about whether the market is up or down or who's sitting in the White House. You can spend your time instead on the things that matter, like family, friends, and doing the things you never had time to do before. Call Steve All today at 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824 and schedule a custom income review at no charge. Or find us online at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice.
It's July. How much time have you spent in your outdoor space? If you had Chesterfield Fence and Deck come out and just trick out your entire yard, well, you could be spending a lot of time out there, maybe even year-round. This is Debbie Monterey, and Chesterfield Fence and Deck is your trusted provider of everything you need in your outdoor space, from fences, decks, patios, pergolas, sunrooms, screen rooms. You name it, they can do it. Whether you're just looking for a simple fence or a gate, or you are looking for a brand new patio with a sunroom and a patio and a built-in fireplace and a pizza oven, you can dream with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. And they do free in-home estimates and free project design, or stop by their beautiful showroom in the Chesterfield Valley if you're looking to get some new ideas. And mention me, Debbie Monterey. They'll offer you 48 months interest-free financing. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is the sign you have the very best. ChesterfieldFence.com.
If you're still waiting for a sign, here's another one. At California Psychics, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work for us. So we only connect you with the best. That's how we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. If that's not a sign, I don't know what is. Dramatic sound effect incoming. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Winner of 4 Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we've got some clouds. It is 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. Interesting weather ahead. Here's Dave Murray.
Michael, a couple of things going on with our weather. Friday still looking like the hottest day of the week. We should peak out at about 95 with that good old St. Louis humidity. And then the best chance for scattered thunderstorms will be during the day on Saturday. Some of these could produce some very heavy rain and intense lightning. So again, a couple of things going on. I'll break it all down for you coming up.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe signs a bill enabling the creation of entertainment districts in downtown St. Louis.
Governor Kehoe says this bill will allow businesses to play a part in enhancing tourism and public safety.
That allows businesses to work with the municipalities, work with the law enforcement to really create a vibrant district in downtown St. Louis.
Kehoe says the entertainment district needs to be established by the city of St. Louis. He adds it could receive both private and public funds. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The city of St. Louis announces plans on how to allocate a little more than $20 million of the Rams settlement fund toward tornado relief. 6 funds have been set up, including resources for food and supplies, temporary housing, and legal assistance. Mayor Kara Spencer says they're also creating an office to focus on the continued recovery office in City Hall.
This office will lead the city's recovery efforts, continuing the efforts that began at the Emergency Operations Center, the EOC at police headquarters.
Spencer says next week the Board of Estimate and Apportionment will approve the Rams settlement plan and expects residents to start seeing those funds later this month.
It sends a strong message to the rest of the investment community.
That's Kurt Weigel, Chief Downtown Officer for Greater St. Louis, Inc., talking about the redevelopment plans for the old Millennium Hotel.
I think it's good for that parcel, clearly, and I like the plan that they've come up with. But also, I think it speaks volumes to others who may be considering investment in downtown St. Louis.
Another phase underway on the Improved 70 project. I'm Roger Brand. They've started placing concrete median wall during the overnight hours along the shoulders of Interstate 70 at Forestel. For the next several nights, they'll continue that work. The lane widths will remain standard at 12 feet. You just won't have a shoulder any longer through that area, so they can add that third lane and build a new overpass at Forestel.
Let's get a check of the St. Louis Business Index. Here is Stifel's Scott Bedell.
Good afternoon, Michael. Hello, everyone. After declining 3 days in a row, financial markets have put together 2 back-to-back strong days. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was higher by 192 points, or just a little less than 0.5% at 44,650. The Standard & Poor's 500 index also climbing up 0.25% today at 6,280, while the NASDAQ Composite Index gained a more modest 0.1% to 20,630. The Bloomberg St. Louis Stock Index had a nice day, adding 0.6% to 1,608, helping that index to move higher. Caleres gained 2.5% at $14.48. Stifel Financial added 1% at $109.60, while Edgewell Personal Care up 4%. They closed at $26.76. On the downside, Amdocs down 2.5% at $89.24. Centene slid 1.75% to finish at $32.52. This has been Scott Bedell from Stifel Financial, member SIPC and New York Stock Exchange. For more information on our firm, we invite you to visit our website at stifel.com.
We've got a stalled vehicle 44 going west at 6440 downtown, right shoulder. Also a stall 6440 west at Lake St. Louis Boulevard. That's on the right shoulder.
Kind of a typical summer afternoon across St. Louis. Partly sunny skies, maybe a spot storm, but these things will be really, really hard to find. 92, though, for the high, so it's warmer than yesterday. Tonight, check out the full moon of July, known as the Buck Moon. Partly cloudy skies, 74 degrees. Friday is going to be the hottest day of the week. Partly sunny skies, maybe a spot storm in the afternoon. Tough to find again. 95, though, for the high on Friday. The record, not even close. 106 from the beast of a summer of 1966. Friday night, partly cloudy skies. Any thunderstorms fade away. Again, they're just little spotty storms, 76. Saturday, partly sunny skies, but I do anticipate a little uptick in scattered thunderstorms on Saturday. The main features, heavy downpours of rain and lightning, so let's pay attention to that sky. 89 on Saturday, Sunday, partly sunny, and 88. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies. We've got some clouds. It is 90 downtown. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
It's never too early to start thinking about your retirement journey, and it's never too late either. You just need to know that the steps may look a little different. Listen to Wealth and Wisdom with Gary Goldberg, Saturday mornings at 7 here on KMOX.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 1041 FM KMOX. Happy Thursday to you. Dana McHugh says, love you, Dave. Love you, crew. Love you, Dana. Right back. Appreciate everybody on the stream. Once again, a lot of people have been complaining about the levels being low. To our knowledge and to the knowledge of our engineers, we don't control that. It is more of a Facebook and a YouTube and a you guys thing, but we do apologize. We want you to be able to enjoy the show and have a good time and watch us perform.
But we can't fix it.
We can't fix it. We don't have a button for that.
Wish we did.
It's turned up loud. Man, if you can't hear Wheeler, you should open your window.
Yeah.
You'll hear Wheeler just
Yeah.
with your natural ears.
Yeah, that's a good point. They can hear me in the newsroom, and this is supposed to be a soundproof room.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Our buddy Janelle is here. Janelle does movie reviews. She is online at Holy L, E-L-L-E. I saw your Superman.
Yeah.
Okay. But first, let's just tease him a little bit. I want to have the Kevin Wheeler discussion. You saw Sinners.
Yeah.
Which Janelle loved.
Yeah.
But she warned me, like, yeah, you can watch it at home. You're going to have a good time, but it's not going to be like seeing it on the big screen.
Mhm.
Most things
And it
aren't.
sort of proved out with you.
Kind of. I don't think it's those
No.
things that cause the. And again, I didn't hate it, by the way. I just want to say I thought it was fine. Like, it's fine. I'm happy I watched it. It's not a why did I waste my time on it. It was like, yeah, that's fine. There are things that annoy me in
fantasy,
movies with
like-
supernatural things. Like you can't fist fight a supernatural being because they're supernatural and stronger than you, but that always happens.
So it's not your lack of whimsy.
No.
It's your logic.
It's yes.
So if I were to
Yes.
set
He's
up a
Spock.
world for
Overly
you,
logical.
Yeah, he's
I
like
want you to
Spock
stay within the
watching
rules
a
of the
movie.
world that you set up.
like Lord of the Rings, you're
Yep.
fine with walking trees.
Exactly, but you can't. If you were to try to tell me that a hobbit's going to fist fight Sauron, I'm going to have a problem with that. See what I'm saying?
We do.
Yeah. So again, I don't mind, like, I love Star Wars. I don't mind that they can move things with their hands and, you know, there's lightsabers.
I can move things with my hands.
Yeah. I mean, like, without touching things. Yeah, like they can use the Force. I don't mind any of that, but like when you take the rules that you've established and you just make exceptions because it speeds the story along,
Yeah.
which is what usually happens in horror movies, sci-fi movies, things like that. You're like, you could have come up with a better solution to that problem.
That and it creates action where
Right.
normally there wouldn't be action.
Right.
Right.
And you were talking about the Wheeler cut.
Yes.
Where you literally go through a movie and
Yeah.
you skip all the, as you said, let me get this right, dumb S.
Yes. Yeah. So as an example, Batman versus Superman. Horrible movie. Absolutely horrible movie. And everybody in here, you agree, Janelle, it's a pretty horrible movie?
It's a pretty bad movie.
If you take the dumbest of the dumb stuff and you just skip it, it's not nearly as terrible. It's more of a, instead of an F, it's like a C.
And I said that's like the Jefferson Bible.
Yeah, kind of.
Thomas Jefferson went through. Do you know about the Jefferson Bible?
Yes.
Yeah, he went through and took out all of Jesus's miracles and said it was a really smart guy, this Jesus dude.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to turn water into wine. That's the Jefferson Bible.
Right. So, like, as an example, because Batman and Superman, that's been out long enough. No spoilers to be worried about. But, like, you skip the whole part where they realize both our moms are named Martha, so now we're friends. Like, you skip that, and it's no longer dumb in there anymore. It's gone. And you can get to the part that's, like, at least somewhat sensible.
Okay. All right.
Did you say Martha? Okay, we're friends.
So you strike me as somebody who does like a lot of action, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But did you like the action in that movie? Because that doesn't make any sense.
In what movie?
Batman versus Superman.
No. It's action's fine, but it was, yeah, you're right. It was senseless.
It didn't make any sense.
Maybe they basically killed tens of thousands of people.
Well, I meant like between Batman and Superman. Like there's no fight there.
Oh no! It would be Superman holding Batman in the shoulder and just sitting him down and saying, "Yeah, you're done now, buddy. Just stay right there."
Did they play it that way? I didn't see that.
No,
film.
it was
they
all
showed
this
a fight.
technology against Superman fighting, and it was dumb.
Did he use kryptonite?
No,
Well, that's kind of dumb for a
he
billionaire.
didn't know. Well, he didn't have it, I guess, and maybe Lex did at some point. Yeah, Lex did, but like Batman didn't know it because he was just going to use all his Batman stuff to fight
He's just gonna fight him in an
an
armor
invincible
suit.
person.
Okay.
And never get a brain injury.
Well, you're right, though. Like you said, like Black Widow is a badass.
Yep.
But she would
Be
die
dead.
every single fight.
Every time fighting an alien.
So would Hawkeye.
Yeah, so would
I mean,
Hawkeye.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. So would Iron Man. Iron Man would have the worst case of CTE you've ever seen in your life.
He's been thrown around a lot.
A lot! You get like whipped around by Thanos and he throws you into a stone and you're like,
it might
I'm
be-
fine.
Might be why he's an alcoholic in the comics.
All the brain injuries, yeah.
Could be.
But see, that stuff will annoy me. But in those movies, for example, it's not as big a part of what's happening
Sure.
as it is in some others.
So the new Superman is out.
Yes.
You have seen it.
Yes.
And you were
It was okay. It has its good points and it has its bad points. I have gotten in, if you've gone onto my TikTok and watched my reaction video, I am fighting with a lot of people that have two complaints. It's not Henry Cavill, which he's not coming back, people. You got to let it go. I mean, it's the Snyderverse is over. It's just not happening. And people that keep saying it's woke. And I keep asking, what scene is woke? And then I'm getting no response. So,
yeah, I saw that Dean Cain of Superman fame said it's way too pro-immigration for him.
He comes from another planet. It's kind of core to who Superman is.
He is an immigrant.
He is. I hate to break this to people. This is maybe new if you've never read the comics, but Superman does come from another planet.
He is an immigrant.
And he kind of crashes here illegally. He does not go through the whole proper paperwork. The Kansas people just kind of adopt him, saying he's somebody's son, and they just take it. So, yes, I mean, Superman has never changed. The culture around him has changed.
That's interesting.
So,
How interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The comics have not changed. The comics have been what the comics have always been. They have been people fighting against social injustice. It's just society around the comic book superheroes has changed.
Yeah.
So,
And a lot of it, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of them rose up right around like what was going on in Nazi Germany. Like it was a lot of...
Yeah, it was controversial when
yeah.
Captain America punched Hitler.
Yeah.
And it might, again, now be today as controversial. But, it's so... but yeah, no, it's a good movie. It's brighter than The Man of Steel. The Man of Steel is very dark, and I don't mean thematically. I also mean like just kind of visually. It's very bright. It's very, it honors the comic books. It's bright colors. It's a little too I had my concerns when I saw the trailer. I thought you had a little too many metahumans, is what they call them, in the movie.
And what are those?
That would be like Hawk Girl, Mr. Terrific, Ultraman, The Engineer. They just have too many.
Ultraman?
No.
I just got so excited.
It's like, is that Hayata? Is he going to push the button?
I don't know if you could tell, but
Remember that show?
I was trying to be cool. I was like, Ultraman.
No, you don't have to be cool. It's
loved
a
that
comics. You
show.
do not have to be cool about it. I get it.
That show was so great.
Yeah, but not that Ultraman.
Yeah.
But I was telling Andrew earlier that the beauty about like Superman 78 was you were introduced to Clark Kent / Superman, spoiler alert, and Lex Luthor. And you really got those chance for those characters and actors to breathe on screen and know who they were and get a vibe for how they were playing each of these characters. So then when Superman 2 came along, you had Zod, Non, Ursula introduced, but you didn't have to learn about Superman and Lex and their dynamic. Then you grow the universe. This one is you're introduced to everybody at one time, and almost everybody's fighting for screen time. It is very much in the vibe of Guardians of the Galaxy. It is Guardians of the Galaxy with Superman in the DC Comics. That is what the movie is.
All right.
Some people will enjoy that. For me, it would have made a great sequel. For an introduction movie for Superman and this new Lex Luthor, I think it should have been a more one-on-one with, your Perry, your Lois Lane, Jimmy, the side characters, and then build onto that. Make a great sequel. I think it's a little too bloated for an introduction movie. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you think there will be a sequel? You think it'll be that successful?
Yeah. So far, right now, I think it's got an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes for critics, and I think it's got like a 98 for audiences. So people are enjoying it. I know people are trying to make it this political movie that it is not. They keep saying, well, James Gunn said it's political. Well, it is. It involves a war, spoiler alert, in the movie. So, I mean, yes, but it's not identity politics, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, there are politics in it. Same way there was politics in Captain America Winter Soldier. Yes, there were politics in it. Captain America Civil War, there were politics in it. It just isn't centered around identity politics the way everybody assumes everything now.
The entire plot of all of the Star Wars movies is political.
Sure.
It's so fascinating to me that it's like a Rorschach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It meant one thing in the 1950s. It means another thing in 2025. Same story, same storyline, same characters.
That's what I'm saying is these Marvel superheroes and DC superheroes have been around. Superman has been around since 1938, I believe. He has not changed. I mean, yes, there have been different iterations in the comic books, and they've given him different storylines and made him Dark Superman, Bizarro Superman. Those things have changed. He has not changed. Society around him and his interpretation of him has changed.
When we come back, we'll do DGS Happy Hour.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/deal. That's leaffilter.com/deal.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Have you noticed loose bricks or missing mortar around your house? On the walls, the patios, the walkways, the porch, or the chimneys? If so, you need to call Morelli Tuck Pointing. 314-645-1387. You might need one of two things: solid tuck pointing, the removal of old mortar with the replacement of new mortar throughout an entire wall or chimney, or maybe just spot tuck pointing. Spot tuck pointing involves the tuck pointing of a particular wall, a chimney, or other masonry surface in an area where it's needed the most. One example might be settlement cracks, usually found above or below windows or doorways. 314-645-1387. Call the company that the Brennans have called when we've needed tuck pointing. Morelli Tuck Pointing, the masonry specialists. Winner of the Angie's List Super Service Award every year since 2005. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
We all have someone we love, like the favorite lyric in our favorite song. You can't imagine life without them. So tell them today, I love you. Get screened. It could help save their life. Visit cancer.org/getscreened to learn more.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
The Chris and Amy Show. Weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 320 on the dot. Here with our buddy Janelle. Dave Murray will join us at 3:30. Mike Elam's going to be here at 4 p.m. We're letting him come, right?
Yeah, I think we should.
It's okay?
I think
All
it's
right.
best.
All right, fine. He's going to cry like a baby if we don't, so let's just give baby his bottle. Fine.
My gosh. Vitriol.
I love Mike.
Sounds like it.
You should see when I don't like people. Okay, so the new feature, DGS Happy Hour, where we just go around the horn and we all have like a little topic that we throw out there for discussion. Anyone want to go first?
I can go first.
Okay.
Have you heard the latest on the Labubu's?
No.
Labubu.
Just to refresh
Labubu.
everyone's memory, The Labubus are the little dolls that you buy from a blind box from Pop Mart. They've taken over pop culture. Everyone wants the Labubu. Update on me. I've thought about it a lot, and I have decided I will not be purchasing a Labubu. I don't need one in my life.
You actually must get a Labubu.
I do not need one.
Are you going to be on Labubus?
Don't do it, Rach.
I'll get a Labubu.
Don't do it, Andrew.
I clip it to my belt and like walk around the building with it.
You can be a Labubu.
Actually, if you do that, that'd be okay.
Well, there's an update on the Labubus. Bad news for everyone who has purchased one of these.
Bad Labu news?
They are actually possessed by Satan.
Oh, crap.
You should have seen it coming.
I feel like we already knew this. I knew it.
Anytime there's a new fad, Satan is behind it. So I just
Sure.
want to warn everyone. People are now taking the Labubus and burning them, dipping them in various substances first, I guess, to make sure the job is done. One person worried about the fact that they went through the line at the grocery store with their Labubu, and the cashier said, if you knew the truth behind that thing, you would not want it anymore.
Welcome to 1680.
Dipping my Labubus in sacred
is a toy.
anointed
It's
oil.
not evil.
Hey, I mean, listen, we've got God who determines the outcome of sports games, and now the devil's focusing on Labubu.
How can you get ahead?
I mean, I think
everywhere I
I
turn.
think everything else is being kind of ignored. You know.
I just want to remind folks, stay woke. Don't let the Labubu control your life.
So Labubu
Strike
is
now while Satan's collecting Labubus.
is now being linked to Pazuzu.
Yes, Pazuzu is behind Labubu.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I think it's just because
You know Pazuzu?
Right.
That's
I
the
know
exorcist
Pazuzu.
demon,
Yeah.
right?
Pazuzu Labubu.
Yeah, I was gonna say a Pazuzu Labubu.
Is a DB. What demon was he again? Was he the
From the Exorcist.
The Exorcist
Yeah.
demon? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that jerks back.
I guess so.
I don't think the devil has ever left.
In the form of a little thing you hang off your backpack.
That's
He's-
amazing.
He must be on vacation.
I mean,
or
the
something.
things that we like give demonic power are hilarious. Oh, this little clip-on toy and a cardboard thing you bought at Toys R Us.
It's got sharp teeth, though.
Yeah.
Labubu or Pazuzu?
Both, I would imagine. You'd have to think. I've not seen Pazuzu,
Yeah,
but I've seen Labubu.
I've never seen like a picture of Pazuzu.
We'll just look at a Labubu. There's your
Just the devil.
Pazuzu.
There you
It's
go.
a
You're right.
Pazuzu.
I guess I have seen Pazuzu.
What if a
Labubu is
Labubu
your
takes a
Pazuzu.
poop and you're like, Pazuzu?
Dang, dude. Ever heard of a courtesy? Go in the hall.
Wheels got one?
It better be about Labubus.
Yeah, it's a theme. It's a theme
I
show.
kind of don't want to talk
Come
about
up with a
anything else.
limerick.
All right,
Come up with a limerick right now.
I don't have a Pazuzu Labubu doo-doo, but well, there you go. That's it.
Yeah, that's good.
But so I was going to pick up on the movie thing we were talking about because we were talking about the things that drive me crazy are, you know, those weird inconsistencies where it's like, well, this creature's superhuman, but you can fist fight it. That's fine. You'll survive. And you guys are watching movies or shows. What does that to you? What gives you that effect, the Wheeler effect, where you're just like, oh, stupid.
Mine's really dumb. But I really hate it when I'm watching a show or a movie and someone's like, come into my home. And then they walk in and they don't close the door behind them. They just continue on into the living room. If you pay attention, it happens all the time. These people are just leaving their doors wide open. I also hate it when you can tell there's no liquid in the cup and
Oh, me
they're sipping
too.
their coffee. I'm like,
Or a grocery bag that's so perfect. No one's ever had a grocery bag like
Yeah.
that before.
And you could
truly
hold
a
it
always
upside
has,
down
it
and
always
the
has
bag
bread.
out.
Yeah, it always has
Yeah.
bread sticking out.
But
That's a good one.
That'll
Yeah.
ruin it for me
Yeah.
real
What do you
quick.
got?
Mine are similar.
Yeah.
Like the just put water.
Yeah.
Like put water in a Starbucks cup so that we don't get taken out of our, suspension of disbelief.
Then the actors are going to choke on it because they can't walk and drink and talk at the same time.
I have one. Mine is a follow-up to that. Actors are complete psychopaths. I was getting some ice today, and for some reason they're playing a soap opera on the television.
yeah.
And there were two women in the scene, and they were for real crying. You could tell they didn't just drip something on their face and okay, now action. Like tears were coming out of their eyes. You're a psycho if you can do that. And I just think it's crazy that we give millions and millions of dollars to psychos. Andrew?
Psychos.
Mine is generally when I see people on TV or movies and they're supposed to be real regular people and they don't have Labubus. It kind of just
Takes you out of
it
it.
takes you out of it because you're like, why? Obviously, these people would have Labubus. This is insane. Why would they? Why would they not?
You're gonna get labeled with an agent of Satan.
Yeah.
Does Megan want a Labubu?
I'm not sure she knows what it is. She is surprisingly unplugged from, like, she's not very online.
Okay.
Like, she's online in, like, different spaces. She's online and, like, she knows everything about whatever, like, drama is going on in the K-pop world. She knows, like, the legal precedents for K-pop lawsuits and stuff.
You're
but
talking
she doesn't...
about your wife.
Yes.
I thought she said your cat.
Does Gigi want a Labubu?
I really did. And you're like, she's really disconnected from the
She
internet.
doesn't get on the web much. She hasn't looked at Instagram in months.
We got a good comment from YouTube. Joel says, dialogue that over-explains the plot.
Thank you.
Yes, please don't do that. Because they do, like, it's like the Bond trope, right? All the villains going to explain all the terrible things he's going to do.
They monologue. They actually explain it in The Incredibles. He's like, there you go, monologue. You know, you got me monologuing again. That was the whole point of yeah.
I also don't like it when the villain is like, now that I'm about to kill you, which I could just do right now.
Right.
For some reason, I'll just pause for a couple minutes as you loosen the ropes I have tied you up in and explain to you my entire plan.
Yes.
Or That's very silly.
Or everybody waiting in a circle to beat up one guy.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
yes.
They won't bum rush him. It'll be all one at a time.
Or even like with something
I hate that.
as non-fantasy as John Wick, when they have the drop on him, right? It's like he's pointing a gun at him.
Yeah.
And or Denzel Washington in Equalizer.
Yeah.
Just pull the trigger.
Yeah. Don't wait.
Don't
Yep.
wait. Don't let him explain why he's here. Just pull the trigger.
Especially when it's a guy with that legendary name, right? Everybody's afraid of John Wick. Yeah, you got him lined up. Don't hesitate because you go down if you do.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-9700. 800-885-9700. That's 800-885-9700.
At 5, when others are running out of steam, the Redbird Rush Hour hits the gas. Kevin Wheeler, Matt Pauley, and Bernie Miklasz bring sharp analysis, fresh insight, and no recycled takes. Real baseball talk for fans who know the game. Redbird Rush Hour, weekdays at 5 on 104.1 FM KMOX, the voice of St. Louis, the unrivaled voice of baseball. Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Well, it's pretty busy on 270 this afternoon. We got some bad news for North 270 commuters. You know, yesterday afternoon we had that crash westbound 44 under 270 where that dump truck pulling a large piece of equipment struck the 270 overpass. It damaged it. They haven't really determined how bad the damage is. They had the right lane closed during the overnight hours through this morning, and it's going to remain closed indefinitely. So the right lane North 270 remain closed indefinitely at 44 due to that crash we talked about all yesterday afternoon that happened that caused that damage. 270 right now, northbound, it's backed up, believe it or not. You're jammed from Manchester all the way up to Mount Olive. We had a crash there earlier. South 270 is bogged down from Page all the way down past there. And then Manchester down through 44 is pretty slow. South 170 bogs down south of Olive. Westbound 64 backed up. Kings Highway to McCausland. It's slow. Lindbergh to Ballas. And slow again 364 out to 70. Westbound 70, the worst of it is out in St. Charles County. Lake St. Louis Boulevard through 61, pretty busy. McKinley Bridge westbound's jam. Southbound 55, slow Gasconade debates, but a backup midway down from M through Highway Z down toward McNutt. It opens up at McNutt. And a roadwork jam on westbound 64 west of New Baden through Route 4 due to that emergency repair work. I'm Roger Brand in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
When you get hurt, you don't want to end up on the injured list. You want to get back in the game, stronger than ever. At Morgan & Morgan, we're the home run hitters you need. Morgan & Morgan, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Ready to make lake life a reality? With Anywhere Lombardo at Lake of the Ozarks, you can build a home designed just for you. Whether it's a cozy retreat or a luxurious lakeside escape, our custom designs bring your vision to life, set against stunning lake views and peaceful surroundings, the perfect balance of relaxation and adventure. With a trusted builder backed by long-standing vendor relationships, you'll enjoy cost savings and superior quality from start to finish. Start your dream home today with Anywhere Lombardo. Visit lombardohomes.com to learn more.
Cards manager Ollie Marble joins the Gas House Gang every Tuesday at noon. Sponsored by Siteman Cancer Center on the voice of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. Janelle's hanging out with us until 4 p.m. Dave Murray joins us. Hello, Dave.
Hello there.
Any update on Cheesy McCheese?
No, he's been gone all day.
Oh.
I told him to go get a job.
Yeah, no kids.
He took the Beamer out for a joyride.
You gonna hang out here every day?
He's at day camp. Pick him up at about 3. Yeah.
He must be having a blast.
He is. He better be.
For all the time and money we're spending on this guy.
That's right.
You guys do anything big? Going to any theme parks? Anything like that?
No, not on this particular trip. We've done some Disneyland stuff. We've done Legoland. But we decided not to do that this trip.
How's Legoland? It sounds boring, but then again, I'm not a Lego guy.
You know what? It's good. Either really, I mean, he likes Legos. It's good for like 4 to 7 year olds.
Okay.
And he enjoyed it. You know, there's no question he enjoyed it. But I don't know. Amusement parks and me don't go together very well.
Oh, yeah. How come?
I don't know.
Just get bored?
Yeah.
Are you a roller coaster guy at all?
Not really. I mean,
Me
like I can do the Screaming Eagle. I can do roller coasters, but it's not like, oh, I have to go do this and I want to do it 20 times.
Yeah, with you. Totally with you. So hot today, hotter tomorrow, then a little relief?
Yeah, tomorrow is the hottest day of the week, really by far. 95 tomorrow. It's hot. It's humid. Humidity's not too bad right now. I mean, it's there, but it's not too bad. Tomorrow we'll feel it. There is a slight chance of a spot thunderstorm. Really tough to find to be afternoon. The record's 106 from 1966. Not even close to a record. A couple of spotty storms around Friday evening. Saturday still looks like the day to see scattered thunderstorms. No all-day rain, but I do think thunderstorms will be around, partly sunny. Some of these storms will produce heavy, heavy downpours of rain, localized flooding, and some intense lightning. So even though it's not going to be raining all the time and not everybody will see that, it is a day to keep an eye on the sky. 90 degrees, couple of thunderstorms around Saturday evening. Sunday, partly sunny, maybe a spot storm, but that's probably about it. And 88 on Sunday. So temperature's a little bit better over the weekend, but it's summertime. You know, we're not going into the 70s anytime soon.
Dave, you gave us that stat yesterday, and when we let you go, I said to the guys, In 1966, I was 2 years old, and I know proof positive we had no air conditioning.
Right. Yeah.
Which-
You know, some people did, but not a lot.
And
Not a
which kind of explains why my dad was so angry all the time, right? I mean,
Yes.
106 degrees, no air conditioning, a little crying baby.
Well, and when you think 106, that's during the day. Nighttime temperatures cool to like 92, 93.
That's nuts.
That's his nuts.
That is just
You know,
nuts.
most of the time, yeah, we have, mid 90s, upper 90s. It cools back into the 70s at night anyway. Oh, so hot, Rain.
Brain's like, you just talking about that's making me hot.
I'm so hot. Stop talking.
92 at night.
Yeah.
Daddy.
You know,
God.
what's funny, she's been a real slug today. She makes no noise at all, but I turned the fan off in order to do this. And within about 2 minutes, it's like, oh my word. It's so
That's
freaking
really
hot.
cute.
And she's like, Dad.
Come on. Stop talking to these people. Headlines, Rach?
Yeah, Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. According to a new survey from Caring.com, 76% of Americans pass away without a will, leaving no legal instructions, usually forcing families to navigate probate, delays, and state laws that decide how assets are distributed after death.
And having just gone through an estate for my mom, and I was the executor, and it was an exceedingly small estate, it was still terrible. It was just whatever you can do to help your loved ones avoid that, do it.
Yes.
At least,
Also, make a list. Make a list or a notebook of where everything is for 'em.
Yeah.
Whether they think they know it or not. Like a checklist.
Yes.
Here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that.
It's so true. My mom had everything in a strong box, but nothing was organized. And I'm the last person in the world you want going through a strong box full of documents. So
at least 31 workers have been rescued after a tunnel collapse in Los Angeles. Have you guys seen this story?
yeah, that's nuts.
The workers were about 400 feet underground and had to scramble over loose soil to reach safety. There were about 100 first responders who were involved in the rescue operation. The cause of the collapse is still under investigation, and work on the project will not resume until the site is deemed safe. This is a $700 million project.
Wow.
That this happened on.
Wow.
Dave, we did a segment at the beginning of the show. What is your big nope? Mine was like the submersible subs that go down to see the Titanic. That's an absolute nope for me. What would yours be?
going down going down that deep. Absolutely.
Heights, spiders.
I'm okay. I'm kind of okay with heights. I'm not real good with spiders, but when I'm in charge of getting rid of that spider, I can do it.
Right.
But I have to really think about it.
Yeah.
I have to think of the course of attack.
Do I want
you
this
know?
fight?
Do I want this smoke?
Do I think I can take him?
But I'm not sure.
What kind of bugs do you have out where you live?
Not a heck of a lot. Very few mosquitoes. There are some flies. There's no like tarantulas or anything like that.
Scorpions?
It's
Got any scorpions?
No, because of the climate. It's not a desert climate. It's daytime highs. Today's a warm day. It's like 77.
Wheels,
one
did you
big
have
thing.
did you have palmetto
One big
bugs?
thing that happened this week was we had a wildfire about a quarter of a mile away from the house.
That's not great.
That's not great. No, it's not great.
Did you have the
Luckily,
palmettos?
Palmetto bugs. Yeah, they're just giant cockroaches that fly.
Yeah.
They're all over Florida. They would like in college. They would live in our dorms and our apartments. We had this
They
huge
were
one.
pets.
We had this huge one in the apartment that baseball apartments, and we just called him the Guardian and left him alone. He just lived above the door. He just stayed up there all the time.
So they don't bite or sting?
They do not bite. They're just big, and if you're grossed out by bugs, you'll be grossed out by them. But if you're not, then they're nothing. They're not dangerous or anything.
Do they climb into your bed? Like if you
I don't
pull your
recall
covers
that.
back?
I don't recall that ever happening. So they tend to be like they want to be where the garbage is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
did
in a-
they
and in a-
crawl into your bed?
In a college apartment with 4 baseball players, they're there. Yeah. Yeah. Guess they didn't like me.
Speaking of the temperature, Dave Murray said you said it's 77 there today, Dave?
Yeah.
I was watching Wimbledon this morning, and people in the crowd, like spectators, kept passing out, And then they were like, it's a very hot day. It's 83 degrees. I'm like, you people, that's not that hot.
You pasty face bitches.
It's one of my. It is one of my. There are a couple of areas of TikTok that there are a couple of people that are like they're Brits who live in the United States or they travel here a lot, and they explain to people in England like the differences, and they're like, you guys have no idea what heat is. You think it's hot when it's when a warm snap comes through. It's like it's 100, and then they explain it in Celsius, and I'm too stupid to do that. And like you have no idea what hot is if you haven't been to Texas or Florida or whatever.
I was going to say my niece lives in Plano, and it's just when we're having a heat wave, and she doesn't rub it in or anything. She's not making fun of me. She's just like, yeah, that's every day.
Yeah.
Just pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I'm glad Janelle is still here for this story because I almost brought it up earlier, but I knew it was coming in headlines. We were talking about Black Widow and such. Well, Scarlett Johansson was just announced to be the highest grossing actor of all time because of her Marvel movies. Now she has the Jurassic Park movies. I think this is cool. Good for her. And,
all time.
You know, a lot of times it's a man that takes the top spot like this. And I just think it's awesome that it's ScarJo.
I remember seeing her in The Horse Whisperer.
Oh, wow.
She was a little girl.
Yeah, she's been around for a while.
Oh,
yeah.
that.
Janelle, what's your nope?
My nope?
Yeah, like
Octopuses.
what?
Well,
they're super
very
smart.
specific.
That's why I don't like them.
Okay, so you don't trust them.
I don't want to be strangled to death.
How
by
often
one.
do you run into one?
Constantly.
Yeah. So let's say it was a.
You don't
like
know
a,
my life, Dave.
Let's say it was let's say it was a small one that couldn't couldn't
slugs.
strangle you.
Okay, then everyday slugs. Ugh. I hate them. It's gross.
Wow.
Is it the sliminess?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't.
Plus,
yeah.
they're fast.
Slugs.
Slugs are fast.
It's a joke.
I had to feel for
You
you,
know,
too.
you know what's funny about a slug or a snail is that if you move it, you don't get rid of it. You move it, it will find its way back to the spot that you picked it up from.
That's creepy.
Very quickly, it will. Within a day, it will find. It was like, oh man, I got to go all the way back there again.
I never did this because I'm not a sociopath, but I grew up in a neighborhood where kids love putting salt on snails.
No, that's just mean.
And it
I
just,
did that.
like disintegrates them.
Okay.
Okay, a rock band with more than 1 million Spotify listeners just revealed that it's entirely AI generated down to the musicians themselves. They're called The Velvet Sundown, and they gained over 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify, only to reveal that they were created using AI. So people are feeling a little betrayed on this one.
I don't like it. Don't like anything about it.
Nope, me either.
Hasbro's CEO is warning that toy prices could start to rise in the fall because of tariffs. So parents looking to buy Christmas gifts, just keep that in mind. Budget might look a little different this year. We'll do one more story here. Do you guys remember Moo Dang, the little hippo?
Yeah.
Who became an internet sensation? She turns 1 year old today.
Is she still cute or is she grown out of it?
I still think she's cute, but I think her internet stardom has kind of faded as she's gotten bigger this year.
Probably because of Labubu.
Yes,
Yeah, not good, not good to be a child star, you know?
Sucking all the air out of the room.
That's
so.
right. Thank you, Dave.
All righty.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This traffic reports a service at Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. 270 still our busiest spot. Southbound 270 is slow from Page all the way down through Manchester. It backs up really from Clayton Road down to Manchester, and there's another jam from Big Bend down through Marshall Road. I can't see what the problem is there, but it is bumper to bumper. And North 270 is backed up north of Doherty Ferry all the way up through Ladue and slow to Olive due to earlier problems on the northbound side. Northbound 170. Rock Road up to 70. The roadwork delays as per usual. South 170 is slow at Delmar. Westbound 64. Kings Highway headed out through Bellevue slow. West of Long Road to the Boone Bridge kind of busy. And then west of 364 out to 70 is heavy. Westbound 70 a little slow at the city limits. There's heavy traffic both sides of K. And then west of Lake St. Louis out through 61. Eastbound 70 David Hokel to Wensville Parkway is also a little crowded. Westbound 44 Vanderbilt Kings Highway is slow. Southbound 55 Gasconade Bates busy. Still a couple of pockets south of M through Z. Not a jam, but it is heavy. And on the Illinois side, we do have a jam. Westbound 64, about midway between New Baden, Route 160, and Route 4. Emergency repair work going on just west of there. I'm Roger Brand at the Michaels Flooring Outlet.com Traffic Center.
Jerry Kelly swings next day installs no matter how late you call. And because they work later every day, they're faster when your equipment just needs fixing too.
That's MVP material.
Yep, simple fix or a full install, nobody gets you comfortable faster.
JerryKelly.com.
Two legendary bands, one epic night. Collective Soul and Live are bringing the rock to St. Louis. Catch their summer Unity tour at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater July 17th with special guest Graylan James Rue. Don't miss your chance to hear such hits as Shine, December, I Alone, and All Over You. Collective Soul and Live. Tickets can be found at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Zero Res. It's National Carpet Cleaning Month, and because of Zero Res's commitment to the DGS, you're going to get 3 rooms of carpeting clean plus 1 free plus $50 off your air duct services. 314-474-2020, ZeroResSTL.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-352-9239. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-352-9239. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-352-9239. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-352-9239. 800-352-9239 or biglou.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When disaster strikes, the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis is there. Tornadoes have left families displaced and communities in crisis, but you can help. The Urban League Tornado Disaster Relief Humanitarian Fund provides emergency shelter, food, clothing, and critical support to those affected. Your donation brings hope when it's needed most. Visit ulstl.com to donate. That's ulstl.com. Stand with us. Stand for St. Louis.
Welcome back, guys. DGS on KMOX. So did Elam show up? Oh, crap, there he is. Okay. I guess he'll be on at 4 p.m. I love you, Mike. Mwah. I have a practical baseball question for you.
Oh?
The PitchCom.
Yes.
How do it work?
They push a button, and then it says fastball, and you
So,
throw a
okay,
fastball.
I saw a video of someone with one of those things, but I just didn't realize it was audible.
And it is only to the person wearing it. It's not very loud.
And then
did
can
you know
the
they're
pitcher
also
communicate back?
Yeah, he can say
Or
no.
does he just...
He can
it
shake it
depends.
off.
There are some pitchers that wear the part that says this is what I'm throwing, and then the catcher hears it.
Oh, see, that seems to make so much more sense.
Every pitcher likes it differently. Some of them want to be that guy in control. Others prefer not having to think about that and just think about executing the pitch and doing,
It's one of those things to me that's so impressive it seems impossible to, in the modern era. I'm sure in days past, there's like 1 for fastball, 2 for curveball. But it just seems impossible for a catcher to manage a game. Multiple pitchers with multiple profiles and multiple hitters, and just seems, it's so impressive to me.
It's fun. That was my favorite part of playing. The control. Was that stuff. Yeah, a little bit of that, but it's also just like, it's the challenge. And at the levels I played, we didn't have the detailed game plans that they do at the major league level, right? Like that, I would be more fascinated because you have way more information to do. For us, it was like I'm just trying to read the hitter who's next to me based on what he's doing. You don't have a scouting report. You don't have a tendency sheet. You don't have any of that. But that's the chess match. That's the fun part of it, is trying to figure out how do you beat that guy based on what you know he's good at and what you know your guy's good at. And then what's your guy think of you? Because if they don't trust you, then it's not going to work very easily because it's going to be constantly shaking off and changing and doing all that, and that just disrupts everything.
That's why I think. I'm sorry.
No.
I think that's why it was really sweet, nice that Sonny on his, I guess it's not his perfect game, but brought up Pedro Pajes and said, "Listen, there's only one throw I shook him off on, and that's the one the guy got. He got a hit. So I thought he's like, it's more of him doing it than."
That was a very sweet moment.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and it really is a tandem thing, and it so each and every pitcher's personality is different, right? So some of them want the control. There are guys that want to call their own pitches, and there are others that just they prefer to have that trust back and forth because then they can focus on other things as opposed to thinking about everything. That's great.
So when you were doing it, was someone teaching you how to do it?
You mean like coaches?
Yeah.
Oh, they're always walking you through it. Like, why'd you call a curveball in that spot? Because that didn't work so well. So what did you think that was going to be? And a lot of times the feedback's from the pitcher. Like, hey, stop that. I don't want that pitch in that situation ever. And then you just stop doing it. But the bigger thing you learn early is trying to stay out of patterns, right? Like coaches would be always like, don't be always, first pitch fastball outside corner. Like if you start getting into patterns as you get older, hitters pick up on it and they're going to do damage on it. But that was the coaching at that time, again, for my age level, which is basically I didn't play seriously after my early 20s because I was done after college. But like you're taught mostly about being aware of what you've done before. So not only do I have to remember what my pitcher does, but what did we do to this batter the last time and then the time before that, or maybe the game we played them last time.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get caught in patterns, and that's what you're kind of playing. So it's a combination of chess and a shell game, kind of moving things around all the time.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Want some fun facts? A sleepwalking woman woke up one morning to discover she had spent $8 the night before getting a DoorDash delivery of a single packet of honey mustard.
Is that an entree?
That was really cute. I know you didn't mean it to be because you were coughing.
I was like, I have the perfect thing. Because I was going to bring this up too. A sleepwalker's regret. Waking up in the morning, what did I buy? She really needed the honey mustard.
Couldn't be. It's not the worst thing you could have bought while you're sleepwalking.
What would be the worst thing?
A lot of them. I don't want to name any, but a lot of them. First of all, you could have bought something more expensive. You could have bought.
Hey, did you buy your workout?
I
Jim?
did today, yeah. Got it done.
Thank God you need it.
I know.
Looking a little sickly over there.
Got some work to do.
A 37-year-old woman from China has gone viral after revealing that she had not properly removed her makeup in over 2 decades.
Oh, my goodness. That gives me anxiety. How is she removing it, does it say?
She's just rubbing it with a rag.
No.
How do you...
The same rag. She never washed it.
No, don't do that. That's bad for your
And her skin
pores.
probably looks perfect.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it's really
infuriating
bad.
thing.
Is it?
Oh,
She has
really?
a terrible rash.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not that makes me feel better, but it.
I mean, like, I'm doing all this. At least it's paying off for a reason, right?
This one, a study for the 8 people still drinking instant coffee. A study found that drinking instant coffee dramatically increases your risk of age-related blindness.
Oh.
So switch to the real stuff. This one is really intriguing to me. Heathrow Airport in London started today piping in the sounds of an airport.
I mean, you're there.
Exactly.
You're, at an
what
airport.
you are hearing is the exact sound of an airport.
I forgot to tell you guys that Dave Murray's weather forecast was sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, PennMutual.com/STL. At Penn Mutual, we believe that life insurance is the central part of a sound financial plan, and it can make an enduring impact for generations to come. Talk to your independent advisor or go to PennMutual.com/STL. Penn Mutual, trusted for life.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Tell you guys about Neovitin. I talk about him pretty much every day. And if you've heard me talk about Neovitin every day and you've never bought Neovitin, there's a couple of reasons why it could be. One, you may be an anti-multivitamin person. You may think, oh, they don't do any good or they could, harm you or something. All of the really good studies that I've seen, because I do pay attention to it, with Neovitin being a client of mine for going on 20 years, it's still that, well, of course, it helps you because we are just skin machines that we were just talking about with the aliens. And we, instead of running on transmission fluid and oil and gasoline and nuts and bolts, we run on vitamin K and riboflavin and antioxidants. So we're not getting what we need out of our modern day diets. We're not getting what we need out of drive-thrus and DoorDash. So you take 2 pills a day, costs less than $1 a day. A portion of the proceeds from every bottle goes to cancer research. So it's a win-win all around. If you're interested now, next time you're at Schnucks or Deerberg's, just, make a note of it. You're going to find it right with all the other vitamins, right by all the deodorants in the pharmacy. If not, go to neovitin.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley telling you about i3 Broadband. You've heard me talk about them. They provide the internet in my home. I love them so much. The reliability is great. Let's talk about price for a moment, though. They've got an introductory rate at $19.99 a month for one of their service options. No bundle ever required. You're going to save $10 a month over the cable company. They've got great pricing on all of their different packages, going up to 8 gigs upload and download speed, always mirrored. See if they're available in your neighborhood. Put your address in at i3broadband.com.
Selling your car online sounds easy. Snap a few pics, list a price, then what? Wait weeks? Haggle with strangers? At Suntrop Ford, we actually make it easy to sell your car. Visit Suntrop Ford Kirkwood or Westport, and our expert appraisers will give you a fast, fair offer on the spot. Or skip the trip and get an instant quote at suntropford.com. No guesswork, no games, just the best price. Visit suntropford.com today. Get more at Suntrop Ford.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Mill 270 is jammed right now, both directions on 270 between a point north of Doherty Ferry and 64. It's bumper to bumper both ways. The delays south 270, though, begin north of Olive. And after you get past that area, it's just a little busy southbound past 44. Not a big deal there. Westbound 64, Science Center all the way to Big Bend is busy. A little slow at 270. A couple of spots approaching Topgolf through Boone's Crossing, and then 364 out to Highway 70. Westbound Highway 70, leaving the city barely slow. There's a heavier traffic in both ways between 270 and the Blanchette. Westbound at K, A to Z. Eastbound 70 has some slow stuff from the Wright City Rest area in through Forestell, and then it starts picking up the pace after that. Southbound 55 south of Arsenal abates seasonal delays as well. From the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
Mid-America's most trusted voice for news. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 4 o'clock, it's a partly cloudy sky. Right now, 90 degrees downtown at the Arch. This hour's news is sponsored by the St. Louis Aquarium at Union Station. A new bill signed by Governor Mike Kehoe could provide a boost to downtown St. Louis.
The bill allows St. Louis to establish a special entertainment district which can put funding towards marketing and public safety measures. Kehoe says the district could receive both private and public funds.
The individual businesses would be a part of it, but it also allows this entertainment district to receive funding from, for instance, the Department of Tourism or an entity like that would help promote tourism in that area.
However, the bill does not create the district. That would have to be done by the city. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The city of St. Louis announces plans on how to allocate a little over $20 million of the RAM settlement funds toward tornado relief. 6 funds have been set up, including resources for food and supplies, temporary housing, and legal assistance. Mayor Kara Spencer says they're also creating an office to focus on the recovery office in City Hall.
This office will lead the city's recovery efforts, continuing the efforts that began at the Emergency Operations Center, the EOC at police headquarters.
Spencer says next week the Board of Estimate and Apportionment will approve the RAM settlement plan and expects residents to start accessing these funds later this month. It was 30 years ago the world learned of the massacre of more than 8,000 Bosnian men and boys at Srebrenica. This week, the Bosnian community, including 16 local organizations, have been commemorating it through public events. Saturday, there's a 1-mile march of remembrance and commemoration ceremony at Soldiers Memorial. Elvir Akhtamovic is now a teacher in the Normandy district.
I survived the siege of Srebrenica for 3.5 years, and in 1995, when Srebrenica fell to the Serb forces, I was 14 years old. So I was transported with the civilian population, women and children, to another town in Bosnia, which was under the control of the Bosnian army. I survived the siege and the genocide and the fall of Srebrenica.
But Elvir lost his little sister, his uncle, and grandfather. Nadim Remick says that it's important that people don't forget.
This could happen again because this is the darkest chapters in modern European history. There's Srebrenica genocide, and it just happened 30 years ago, not 100 years ago.
An issue on 270 to update.
Well, it's not great news for North 270 drivers. I'm Roger Brand. The right lane that was closed during the overnight hours into today is going to remain closed indefinitely. We're talking about the right lane North 270 at 44. The reason for the closure, a crash yesterday afternoon westbound 44 at 270 that damaged the east side of that 270 overpass when it was struck by a piece of heavy equipment. MoDOT engineers still evaluating the situation.